I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral disorder. I'm proud to be. I'm a flying ace and fly through outer space. Hello, sweetie. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral disorder. I'm proud to be in whatever sitch, like singing on Twitch or playing D&D. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral disorder. You may call me obsessive, but I just border on being a collector and being a dragon that sits atop my treasure. That's so shiny. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral disorder. And my partners love me for it. I'm a natural 20 when it comes to being me. I'm a time traveler, so Alonzi. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral disorder, and proud to be. I'm a flying ace and fly through outer space. Hello, sweetie. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral disorder, and proud to be. I'm a flying ace and fly through outer space. Hello, sweetie. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral disorder. I'm proud to be. I'm a flying ace and fly through outer space. Hello, sweetie. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral disorder. I'm proud to be in whatever sitch, like singing on Twitch or playing D&D. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral disorder. You may call me obsessive, but I just border on being a collector and being a dragon that sits atop my treasure. That's so shiny. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral disorder. And my partners love me for it. I'm a natural 20 when it comes to being me. I'm a time traveler, so Alonzi. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral disorder, and proud to be. I'm a flying ace and fly through outer space. Hello, sweetie. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral disorder, and proud to be. I'm a flying ace and fly through outer space. Hello, sweetie. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral disorder. I'm proud to be. I'm a flying ace and fly through outer space. Hello, sweetie. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral disorder. I'm proud to be in whatever sitch, like singing on Twitch or playing D&D. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral disorder. You may call me obsessive, but I just border on being a collector and being a dragon that sits atop my treasure. That's so shiny. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral disorder. And my partners love me for it. I'm a natural 20 when it comes to being me. I'm a time traveler, so Alonzi. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral disorder, and proud to be. I'm a flying ace and fly through outer space. Hello, sweetie. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral disorder, and proud to be. I'm a flying ace and fly through outer space. Hello, sweetie. proud to be. I'm the flying ace and fly through outer space. Hello, sweetie. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral disorder. I'm proud to be in whatever sitch, like singing on Twitch or playing D&D. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral disorder. You may call me obsessive, but I just border on being a collector and being a dragon that sits atop my treasure. That's so shiny. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral disorder. And my partners love me for it. I'm a natural 20 when it comes to being me. I'm a time traveler, so Alonzi. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral disorder, and proud to be. I'm a flying ace and fly through outer space. Hello, sweetie. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral disorder, and proud to be. I'm a flying ace and fly through outer space. Hello, sweetie. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral disorder. I'm proud to be. I'm a flying ace and fly through outer space. Hello, sweetie. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral disorder. I'm proud to be in whatever sitch, like singing on Twitch or playing D&D. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral disorder. You may call me obsessive, but I just border on being a collector and being a dragon that sits atop my treasure. That's so shiny. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral disorder. And my partners love me for it. I'm a natural 20 when it comes to being me. I'm a time traveler, so Alonzi. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral disorder, and proud to be. I'm a flying ace and fly through outer space. Hello, sweetie. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral disorder, and proud to be. I'm a flying ace and fly through outer space. Hello, sweetie. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral disorder. I'm proud to be. I'm a flying ace and fly through outer space. Hello, sweetie. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral disorder. I'm proud to be in whatever sitch, like singing on Twitch or playing D&D. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral disorder. You may call me obsessive, but I just border on being a collector and being a dragon that sits atop my treasure. That's so shiny. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral disorder. And my partners love me for it. I'm a natural 20 when it comes to being me. I'm a time traveler, so Alonzi. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral disorder, and proud to be. I'm a flying ace and fly through outer space. Hello.
There we go.
And she said, ooh, ee, ooh,
ah.
Yeah. We did it at the same time, synchronized.
That's what Dad and Mom is all about.
How dare you? But you got to do it in the super high-pitched voice like the chipmunks.
That's Gollum.
Mark said he would be jumping in a little bit. So let's get everybody caught up on what happened last session,
Yes, please.
shall we?
Shanti.
So at the beginning of the session, you guys, we picked up where we had left off with the man in the crow's nest yelling out mast on the horizon as you guys pulled up to a ship that Gator intended for you all to rob, to pirate, to go over there and take all their, well, not all their shit, but as much as their shit as you could fit on your ship, and instructed you, as a matter of fact, wanted the party to kind of spearhead this, and Knox in particular, to kind of earn their keep a bit. And instructed Knox to go over there and, by any means necessary, convince them without violence to hand over their stuff. And if they would not and refused, he said to just come on back and let him know, and that you guys would sail away. And he indicated to some whistle that he wore around his neck, that he said if they don't comply, then we have ways of dealing with that. So you guys, as a group, made your way across. Once you fired a warning shot across their bow, and they came to a halt, you know, in the same tactics almost exactly as happened to the North Beacon, the ship that you were all on. You pulled up alongside them, used some grappling hooks to pull them together, and boarded the ship. You through the use of some charismatic intimidation and persuasion, and with a combination of some magic, some mind-altering magic, you were able to suggest and you know, intimidate your way through having the captain show you all of the fine goods that they had down below, including quite a few precious stones. Um, you were able to not take all of their stuff, as it wouldn't fit all on your ship. It would have been too much weight, and the ship probably would have been riding a little bit too low. But you expressed to Gator what you had found on the other side. He instructed you on what things to bring back, or not instructed you on what things to bring back, but specifically said that the chest full of sapphires was something that you should specifically bring back. You collected a bunch of other stuff. Some of you made mental notes as to exactly what was taken and got some names and stuff, I guess maybe hoping that later on you might be able to return it. But made your way back over to the other ship, and endeared yourselves a bit to the crew and to Gator. And as the ship was awfully weighted down, it was time to head back to back home, as they said, to the ruins of Onua, to where it appears that they've been keeping a base out of. Knox tried to ply Gator for information on. Tried to ply Gator for information on the benefactor, and you know, offer his services and helping him drop off their cut or whatever they need to do. The rest of the crew began to celebrate their you know, one of their best hauls yet so far, and so everyone was drinking and kind of fell into a deep, you know, after the partying was done, everyone kind of passed out and fell asleep. You were awoken in the middle of the night by alarm bells, as it appeared that several large, angry and mean-looking fishmen, or marrow, wielding chained tridents, had made their way aboard the ship and surrounding the ship, and started yanking crew members off the side. You, in fairly short order, kicked their asses, for lack of a better term. And however, there were quite a few members of the crew who were lost to the Blarney depths. And upon victory, Gator said that as the sun was kind of coming up, that you guys were going to continue your journey back, and strangely didn't seem too concerned about the loss of men. Apparently, mentioning that there were plenty back at base that could replenish their numbers, and that's kind of where we left off. Was the ship getting right? However, Gator did say to you, Noxus, that with the loss of crew, you and your crew were going to have to probably help with the ship and helping it run to get back and everything. Um, so, with that, with the red sky in the morning coming up and the beautiful orange colors in the sky as the sun comes up over the horizon, as you guys are starting to make your way back toward Dagger Bay, what would you like to do?
I look up in the sky and I say, "Damn it, it's gonna fucking rain." That is all.
Wait, is it? You said it was nice out?
No, I said it's going to rain.
I know, but
for the moment, it appears pretty nice. Yeah.
Is that what? Is that the precursor to rain, Noxus? Does
Yeah.
not look like it.
What? Have you never heard the nursery rhyme? All sailors know it. I gotta teach it to you. Okay, so listen. When you look up in the sky, you see that it's pink, right? It's like reddish pink, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the saying is, pink skies at night, sailors delight. Means it's not gonna rain. Pink skies in the morning, sailors take warning. Don't go out. There's gonna be a storm.
And a nursery rhyme seemeth to actually predict the weather correctly.
Yeah, something about precipitation changes the color of the sky. I don't know.
Huh.
At least that's what Gator says.
Size it
I'm surprised we're still on the water.
She starts like going through the nursery rhyme, like saying it a couple times over, just trying to remember it.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
I mean, we're heading fast towards our destination. I don't think he has much of a choice on whether or not he wants to be out on these waters.
Yeah, he wants to drop the load really quick. So, I mean, that's what he said. He said we're heading back to Island. So, we'll see. We're gonna see what a pirate village looks like. I don't remember ever doing one like this, so it's new to me too. Yeah, real quick. Anybody have any questions on what you're supposed to do for work? Because we gotta pull our weight, by the way. Forgot to tell you that. Oh, damn it. Can you climb?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Awesome. You're with me then.
All
Anybody
right.
else who can climb?
I'm
Pointedly not looking at Shango.
Anybody who can climb. Like, exceptionally good at climbing.
I'm what you might call acrobatic.
Likewise.
Athletics. Climbing.
Also.
Fike is just struggling to get a cannonball into a cannon. Just like, yeah, I got this. This is good on the ground. Is where I like to be.
Perfect, because we're gonna need some ground, folks. So Fike, and then I start explaining to Fike what he should do on the ground to like help us up top, and then I start explaining to Renata what she's gonna do up top with me, and then I look at Bureau and I think about it.
Yar, what do you need from me?
Just don't fall and do what I do. And then I look at Shango and I say,
See, Shango's kind of sitting on like a crate and is finishing up the semantic components of a spell. And you watch as stuff just starts to float around the deck and get moved to where it needs to go. And he's like, and he kind of leans back against the wall and closes his eyes.
keep doing what you're doing. You're doing it good. Doing it good, baby. And then I look at Tharn and I just go, Tharn, whatever you do, do not go talk to Gator. You talk to anybody else, just don't talk to Gator.
Oh,
And don't murder anyone.
That too. Don't
Yes,
kill
no
anyone. Wait, Tharn, can you climb?
I can climb as good as the next man.
Okay. Can you like control the water?
Yes.
Okay. How about this? You go in the back. Don't talk to Gator. Don't talk to him. But go in the back and kind of move the water faster so that we can get to where we're going. Can you do that for me?
Well, why don't you tell him yourself? Since he just popped on.
So, Tharn, I just basically asked you to do control water to kind of jettison the boat forward
Why would I do that?
so we can get to land faster.
Okay, can I just get like a 20-second recap of what I just missed?
You didn't really miss all that much. We did the recap of what happened last session, which I'm sure you remember. And then we kind of picked up at the beginning after, Nox had a brief conversation with Gator saying that with all the losses to his crew, he's going to need you guys to help out on the ship so that they can get back to the ruins of Onua, where you guys are heading. And so Noxus has been kind of giving you guys a crash course in how to sail a ship and kind of trying to figure out each of your strengths and what you could be, like what your skills are in magic and physically, naturally, that would be beneficial and helpful with running the ship.
Okay. Well, I mean, Nox wouldn't know that I know how to control water.
I asked.
He asked you, and I told him that, and I said yes. Sorry, probably should have mentioned that.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I probably wouldn't have answered that way.
All right. Well,
but
you
sure,
weren't here. So
whatever. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sure, no problem. Fine. Yeah. No, let's do that. All right. Cool. Yeah. No. Sure.
There are many ways to control water. You lift it up in a bucket and...
Yeah. No. Sure. Yeah. Let's just tip my hand on my my main thing that I'm able to do to surprise them. Yeah. No. Let's totally just do that. That's entirely what my character would do.
Well, I don't know what you offered me, buddy. You weren't here. You asked me if you had that ability, and I told him that, and I told Noxus that you did. Nobody else.
Okay.
So if you want to convey to Nox that you don't want to do that in front of them because it's a surprise, then you can feel free.
All right. Well, then I convey that.
Okay.
Oh, good point.
I would imagine that being able to pull their ability to control storms or whatnot out from under them using the ability to control water would be possibly the best. Would be a tactical advantage. You see what a tactical advantage is, and I start explaining that to Nox.
Okay. I gotta get to work. I gotta get to work. Thank you. I understand. Okay. All right. Tharn, just follow Fike. Okay. I'm going to climb up now, and I start climbing.
All right.
Twice quickly follow after Noxus.
Yep. So you guys start heading up into the rigging to, as Gator is kind of shouting out orders from the helm, from the pilot's position, as the remaining crew all seem to be getting to work, going about different tasks and things. When Gator shouts out an order, The rest of you kind of look to Nox, and Nox gives you like a little like, oh, you're gonna go tie this rope to that thing, da 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 da. And I mean, it's slow. You get none of you are really proficient with water vehicles, but with a little bit of help from the rest of the crew and from Noxus, you're starting to get the hang of things as you guys travel for the better part of the day.
Would it be difficult if I were to kind of test Renata, Bureau, and maybe everybody if they can hear? But more so, actually, no. I'll just do it with Renata and Bureau if I can. If I can, it's cool. Kind of test them by saying stuff in Draconic and seeing if they're getting it.
Yeah, I mean, their understanding is still at a fairly basic level. They're at like they're still at like an elementary school.
Yeah, kind of just testing them, seeing if they're getting it, and
Yeah,
if I get a chance, teach them something new. Maybe if like, oh wait, make them think.
I assume it's an ongoing process that you guys have been. You've brought it up enough times. I assume it's kind of like an ongoing process that you guys have been going about, and they're slowly getting better, and they're learning new things every time you go to teach them, but they're still nowhere near fluent. So
Right.
Wherefore are you talking about a library boat? Just calling over in the rigging.
No, not library. Gosh, damn it. The rope.
The better part of the day goes by as you guys are. I mean, unless there's things you want to specifically do. But if all you're planning on doing is helping keep the ship moving,
If we get free time, I'd give him another lesson. But
I mean, you're not going to get a lot of free time. You're all working the ship. So
I mean, other than that, I don't have any other things I would like to do other than get us to shore.
All right. So the better part of the day goes by as the group of you are all kind of working the ship, taking orders from Gator, and towards the end of the day, you see that a spot that you all, even though not being familiar with being at sea, a spot that you all recognize, the kind of rock spires that kind of come up out of the sea with vegetation that grows upon them that indicates that you're coming around that little peninsula that leads into Dagger Bay yet again. A familiar sight to you as you were there a few days ago. Where you ran into this crew for the first time. You come around the peninsula as the sun is going down. Gator kind of pushes you all forward, wanting to get through the reef before the sun sets completely. Otherwise, you'll have to stop and anchor outside the reef and wait for daylight to navigate it. But with his expertise, and the help of the crew and Noxus, you guys are able to quite easily navigate through the reef yet again without damaging the ecosystem at all, Tharn.
Good. I would have been helping with that, by the way.
Yes, I assumed you would.
Yes.
And you make your way past the reef kind of barrier and into the bay itself. And those of you with higher passive perceptions like Shango and Tharn and a couple others, you can see with the last bits of sunlight as it is disappearing behind the horizon, that stationary storm off in the distance in the direction that you are heading again.
And no one knows how far it goes. That was for Ren, who missed it last time.
Yeah. He's a base. We know.
Actually, at one point, you'll kind of if Ren and Bureau are close. Like, what are your guys' passive perceptions?
11.
15?
Okay, Ren would probably hear it. She'd probably hear Noxus singing in Draconic, a sea shanty. And she probably catch some of the words.
Probably some of the words at this point, yeah.
It's difficult to follow, but I'm surprised so many of this group aren't musically inclined now. I'm learning much.
You hear as Gator shouts out across the ship to the front of the ship to drop the anchor. As he kind of puts a rope, loops a rope around one of the knobs on the pilot's wheel, which kind of holds it in place. It looks like that holds it in place. A couple of ropes, and they drop anchor at the front of the ship as he kind of comes down around from here and down to the lower deck still to address all of you and says, "Hey, we'll rest for the night and make our final push to Onua in the morning. We don't have the crew to be running through the evening. Not anymore."
All right. Well, yeah, that makes sense.
Hey, Captain.
Aye.
This is just something I'm thinking. I'm just thinking out loud, not trying to be a dick or anything. Wouldn't it be smart if we went under the deck just in case the Marrow come back, so we don't lose even more people, so we can at least get to shore? I'm just thinking out loud. Just thinking out loud here.
I don't know how everyone going below deck is gonna stop
They're not-
Marrow from coming.
They're not gonna pull us in the water for one. They'll be on our turf. Again, I'm just thinking out loud here.
Someone needs to keep watch above ship. You know these are pretty basic things, Noxus.
Well, yeah, I'll take first watch. Yeah.
DM,
Yes.
when I long rested last night, I would have learned the spell. I think it's what is it? Sentry or Guardian? The 8-hour angelic guardian.
Guardian of Faith? No.
No, that's what I have.
What the hell is it called? I know the spell you're talking about.
Yeah. Sorry, I had it like written down, but I'm not in front of the things that I've written down. So.
No. Guardian of Faith is 8 hours.
It is, yeah. Guardian of Faith. I think that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I probably would just cast that before I went to sleep and be like, "That'll handle it."
I could cast that too, and he's seen me cast it. No, he hasn't. I was going to, but I didn't.
Actually, he goes, actually, I've been... Noxus, need to speak with you, boy.
Okay, sure. What's up?
He kind of walks you over to up to the top here. Looks at the other crewman and says, "Philip, fuck off."
Phil!
Phil!
Go
back to Tahiti.
Well, then he looks at you up and down.
Tahiti's a magical place.
When he gets you alone, Noxus, he kind of looks you up and down and says, "You've been holding out on me, boy."
Picked up some tricks on my way, yeah. Do you want me to show you some things?
Never had any use for magic in the past. Don't feel I need it in the future. Just little disappointed is all. You felt the need not to share with me. Also, I know that this visage you're putting on is an illusion.
All right, and I snap my finger and I change back to what I actually look like.
Mm-hmm. Never
Yeah.
felt the need to be dishonest with me before, boy.
Oh, well, I thought it'd just be easier for you to know this version of me than try to lie, like, not lie, but to, like, try and convince you it's me. You know, still me.
Never would have thought it wasn't you. I guess, a little disappointed you think I'd care about such superficial things.
I didn't think you care about superficial things. I just kind of wanted to go back to the way things were, you know. I I don't know. A lot's happened. And I'd be more than happy to tell you about it all. If you got time, I can tell you now. It's just we haven't really had a moment where I felt like I could tell you, you know, just one-on-one, you know, time.
It's fair enough. Fair enough. Well, when we get back to Onua, we'll have plenty of time for telling stories.
I will share every little bit of it.
Good. Keep your friends up here for now. Our hobgoblin compatriots like to keep the lower decks to themselves.
Oh, there's more than just that one. Okay, yeah, no, I get it. Cool, no worries.
Anyway, I probably be best if you and your lot kept a watch through the evening.
Yeah, we normally do anyway, so it's no worries.
I mean, don't worry. Once we get back to Onua and I'm able to vouch for you and you're shown to, you know, be part of the crew, such boundaries won't be necessary anymore.
No worries. Absolutely.
Fucking asshole. No, sorry. A truck almost just ran me off the highway. I was in the gravel.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
That's scary, man.
It was
Glad it was perfect.
scary. I'm glad you're okay. It's
Yeah.
just it was kind of
Perfect
appropriate
timing.
for what was going on.
It's perfect timing.
It was
I
great,
love
yeah.
you. I love you
Yeah,
too.
well, if it had been a half second different timing, you'd be hearing the sounds of my dead body.
Yeah, that would not be fun.
No.
That would not be fun. The internet would hear it too.
Go back to
Oh my
Jersey, you prick!
Before it all ends, if he has
Yeah.
more he's gonna say, I'll let him say it. But
He didn't
before
have any more to say, but yeah.
So before it ends, I kind of just put my hand out and say, "Hey, no hard feelings on the way I look, right? Or keeping that from you."
No hard feelings, just don't feel you need to keep such things from me, boyo.
I won't.
I figured you would have learned a long time ago sailing with me that physical appearance, scale color, and the having or lack thereof of a tail are not things that concern me. Trust, honor, and a man's word. Those are the things that I hold in higher regard.
I got you.
I'm gonna retire.
You want me to? Well, the anchor's dropped, so I'm not steering. So yeah, I
I
got watch.
kind of pat you on the shoulder and makes his way below deck. I'm just gonna put it over here for now. As the rest of the crew is kind of his two lieutenants make their way below deck with him, Kane and Abelia.
Kane just morphed into Shango. That was crazy. Shango, no!
They have secrets too.
As the
Right
rest of
overboard.
the rest of the crew though looks like they're like the other knights staying above deck as well.
Look over at Noxus. Is everything all right? Seeing he's back to normal.
Yeah. So I'm Emerald again.
I noticed.
Yeah, he saw right through it. So
Well,
wasn't happy about it.
you do need to cast it when you wake up in the morning, which means you spend several hours not looking like that. So if he like wandered over to your sleeping body, then he would have noticed it.
I mean,
Did he tell you how he found out?
I didn't bother to ask. So, I mean, he did watch me shoot magic out of my hand. So
Wait.
he probably
He likely
guessed.
also saw you wake up in the middle of the night and fight Marrow looking completely different.
Yeah, probably.
We
It
all
is what
saw
it
that.
is. It is what it is. He's not pissed. I mean, a little upset, but you know. I mean, I'm kind of happy that he knows now, and I've had the time to kind of not have to convince him I'm who I am. You know, it's just.
So long as it did not cause any trouble, Noxus.
I don't think so. I mean, done something to like make your dad look at you like I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. I think that's what happened.
That's never fun.
No.
I don't know what that feels like at all. So
You are not missing much, Fight. Red Wraith. It's not a great feeling.
No, it is not.
Be
My
glad
father
that
was regularly disappointed.
my real father as well. I know I can relate for the first time.
My father was a stern man, set in his ways, not open and liberal like myself.
Wait, Tharn, you're liberal?
Why, yes, I'm the most open-minded one in my family.
You're the most
He's most
open-minded
liberal
one?
with his words, yes.
Oh. Are any of your family still around, or
Possibly.
when was the last time you saw them?
It's been a few decades.
And do you have any desire to go find them at the moment?
If they wish to contact me, they know how.
Okay, good.
Tharn, you receive a message spelled out.
They're really close. They're swimming. They're out beside the boat. They're swimming.
that Manoa lady again? That is quite ridiculous.
I would love the idea of Tharn's family all being worshippers of
Arathis?
Arathis. Yeah.
They just sail by on the waves. They're just floating, waving at the boat.
That would be hilarious.
That would be great.
Oh, that would be so funny. I'd love that. Every minute of it. That'd be great.
Yeah. Oh, anyway, sorry.
So yeah, it's a good night. It might rain, so Django, we might need the bubble. We might need it. I'll let you know.
Then the bubble you shall have. He pops up and begins to start the ritual.
Once we're inside the bubble, I'll say back in my normal voice. I just fear that
the bubble can't prevent sound. Like sound.
Oh, I thought it could.
No, the sound. You can make it opaque or clear. It's your choice, and you can control the weather inside of it, and the temperature. And you can't cast spells through it, but sound passes through it just fine.
Okay. Then in that case, I will whisper in my pirate voice.
And you would have known that, which is why I'm telling you.
Thank you.
I actually asked Shango to make it clear, so they can still see us.
He does.
I'll just say I just fear that the hobgoblin detected your magic, and that's what he told your captain.
I'll whisper back in Draconic as simply as I can, saying, you mean hobgoblins?
Oh, that's a goblin of a different color.
Yep.
Hobgoblins
multi-
are indeed a different color than regular goblins.
Yes,
Those
thank you,
goblins
Tharn.
Darn, what are the other colors that hobgoblins?
Hobgoblins can come in a number of colors.
Brown. Off brown.
Off brown.
Chocolate. Toffee.
Light brown.
Mauve.
So we should just be cautious about any stealthy or secretive magics we may be using in case the hobgoblins are watching for that.
Hey, Bureau, let me see that the wand I gave you real quick.
I hand him the wand.
And I would like to investigate to see if there's any kind of like very distinct hobgoblin stuff on it.
Make an I'd say investigation or arcana, but they'll tell you different things.
Okay. Somebody help me, please.
I don't got it. I can't help you there.
Guidance.
You got guidance.
I'll assist if you're investigating.
I'll investigate then.
All right. So you have advantage and guidance.
And inspiration. You can do this, buddy.
There you go. You got an inspiration die as
Hey.
well, in case you need it.
1d10. Here we go. And there is the roll.
You're gonna need it.
Okay. Hang
So
on.
you got a D4 and a D10.
1d4.
He rolled a 3, Mark.
Wow.
Okay.
1d10.
Plus 6 from his inspiration and guidance.
9.
So a 9.
Yeah.
Your magic is gifted to you, Noxus, from once Tiamat and now Bahamut.
Right.
So you've never really studied magic. It's just kind of something that, like a hose with water, it flows through you as opposed to you producing it, right?
Right.
So you look it over, and there are markings on it and things of that nature, but you just don't. It's like John trying to read Mandarin. It's just like you look at it and there's markings, but you're like, I don't know.
So in game, I pull out my phone. Google Translate this. I hand it back. I hand it back to Bureau, and I say, if you see any like hobgoblin stuff on this, might want to put this away.
Hobgoblin stuff.
Yeah,
Where did you get this wand?
I got it from a hobgoblin we killed. I say that very quietly in Draconic.
That.
You got it from a hobgoblin you kissed, did you?
No, not kissed, not kissed. And then
Just run
And
with
then-
it.
There are many kinds of hobgoblins you can kiss. To each
Brown
their
one.
own. We are not here to
Brown
judge. Most liberal one in my family, I say.
So, given that he's drawn my attention to the hobgoblin origins, could I try an investigation check?
Because you assisted him, you were kind of looking it over with him.
Okay.
You can make an arcana check if you want, but not an investigation check.
Okay.
Hey-o.
22.
I warmed it up for him.
Yeah. You look it over. It's obviously, it's a magic wand, so it's obviously enchanted. Do you speak Goblin? Or are you fluent in Goblin? Is that one of your languages?
I am not.
All right. So you also recognize that there are magical runes on it. You can recognize that it's obviously a very different make from any kind of magical items or enchanted items that you've seen before. All the enchanted magic items you've did with before come from, the cultures of elves, men, and dwarves. Elves, humans, and dwarves, and the other free folk of Taldore. So it definitely is different from that. But you're not able to, and it's something that seems foreign to you, but it's not something that you're able to identify as specifically goblin or hobgoblin or anything like that.
Okay.
Different magics throughout the world, and these are things that you would have learned in your college days, but almost like there are certain like universal truths with magic, kind of like with science. Like, doesn't matter what culture you're in, science is the same. And but they all have different flavors on them, almost kind of like martial arts, right? Like each specific culture has a different flair that they put on things like that, and so you're not familiar with this.
Okay. Fair enough. And I will, given at least the suspicions or the fact that it was obtained from a hobgoblin, I will pocket it away carefully.
You do remember briefly the party mentioning a run-in that they had with hobgoblins around Turst.
Okay. So I take it you picked this up during your Turst adventures, did you?
I nod.
Perhaps not an adventure to bring up around the company below decks.
No, I think they'd be fond of it, actually. I'm actually not kidding. Like, the people that we kissed, they weren't highly liked by the Empire.
Interesting. I'll file that information away. What makes you feel that they weren't appreciated by the Empire?
Does anybody remember her name?
Yes, if I can. Hold on. It was like. Hold on, I got that.
Grood.
Grood, fuck.
Grood the Great.
I should have brought up my drive. That's what I didn't do.
So I kind of claw him towards me so I can stage whisper it. Does Grood the Great mean anything to you?
Does Grood the Great mean anything to me?
Yeah.
Dun dun dun.
Sure does.
What does it mean?
She was the one. Actually, kind of hop in secrets with me real quick.
First secrets in forever.
Yeah.
It
I
begins.
haven't had one of those in forever.
We'll do this just me and him. We don't have to wait for we don't have to have everybody else go in there. So.
Okay.
Cool.
Da-da-da. So
D&D,
D&D Beyond.
everybody.
D&D Beyond, everybody.
So
It begins.
you know how goldfish are the snack that smiles back? This one does not smile back. So I'm gonna eat it.
I mean, were you not going to eat it if it did?
Yeah, I was gonna keep it as a pet goldfish.
Do you appreciate that little Tharn lore dump?
Yeah. Oh, God.
I do actually.
Yeah.
I really want Tharn just to go like more Bernie Sanders. I think it'd be hilarious.
Can he go more Bernie Sanders?
I think it'd just be.
No, he can. He absolutely can.
It would be very funny. It'd just be like, people have money. We should take it and give it to people without. Like, oh, okay, Tharn.
I mean, Tharn already doesn't care about material wealth, doesn't think it's important, and he provides universal health care to everybody. He's super grumpy and thinks everyone else
like Thorn and Fike are universal health care.
Bernie Sanders.
I mean, he's not lying. He already is.
How many people have you seen me charge for healing?
He's got a point. I think Noxus is going to be the one who's like, all right, that's 5 gold, please.
So would that make Fike his VP if he went for?
Yep. Mike,
Alrighty.
Father Fike for vice president.
Fighting.
Thorin for president.
The top
I
1% of the citizens of Taldori are not letting enough gold flow down to the bottom 99%. The peasants of Taldori. What we need to acknowledge is universal lesser restoration for everyone.
Oh.
With this base gold income, we will relieve the 1% to
I
pursue for the
say
future.
free Bard College for everyone who wants to go.
The Council of Taldore is corrupt.
Who is on the council anyway?
The dragon class is keeping too much of the wealth from the rest of the citizenry.
You hear it in the background. Nox go, boo.
All right.
Burns.
When you guys say that name, you guys can see
Flashback.
a flash of recognition on Bureau's face.
and there'll be kind of a mixture of remembrance and like a look of painful memories, probably crossing my face.
I'm guessing that's not a good name for you. I'm sorry.
I may have had a hand in Grood's banishment, as it were.
Oh.
Really?
Well, she's
I've
dead.
cast banishment before. It is a quite useful spell.
Yes, this one, the casting cost was quite high, Tharn.
It can be difficult. If you concentrate on it for over a minute and they are not from this plane, they shall not return. Is that what has happened?
No, that is not what happened.
Well, that's what should happen with that spell.
It was more of a metaphor, Tharn. I think I mentioned at least to Nox that I spent some time in Tazarm and I was part of a group of people, including Terra, who went to relieve the hobgoblins of a magical item that they had stolen that was highly dangerous. And my cover was blown as we recovered it. And Terra and I managed to escape after Grood was assigned to catch us. And she failed to catch me and Terra, but she managed to catch Elsa. And I fear that Elsa did not survive.
Who's Elsa?
Elsa was the third member of our party.
Oh, okay. You
I'm sorry.
You don't blame yourself for that, do you?
I was so close to being able to grab her.
I'll take that as a yes, you do. That sucks, man.
Believe
Yeah.
me, Bureau, 'tis best not to dwell on those sorts of things.
It's easier said than done.
Well, I'm gonna let you off the hook. If you can't save me, it's okay. I'll let you off the hook.
It's not that simple.
Yeah, that's my job.
Wait, what?
Well, certainly I won't try to come between the two of you.
Oh, right. Yeah. I mean, don't beat yourself up. That's all I'm saying. You know, like.
You're a good man, Nox. Good man.
Well, I'm a dragon, but I get what you mean. I get what you mean.
But
Appreciate it.
Maybe because I'm kind of
And,
dragon.
I'm a dragon.
I take it that Gru did not survive her encounter with you.
No. And then looking
out of-
back at Shango.
Out of character, who killed her?
Shango did.
Shango did.
How did he kill her?
Lightning.
Shango, lightning bolt through the chest.
Yeah. You look over at Shango, who's kind of sitting in the middle, not concentrating, but having to, has manifested it, and he kind of, the crackle of lightning kind of goes through his fingers and says, "A lightning bolt was left where her heart used to be."
It's hard talking like Yoda.
It is. It's not easy. It's not that easy.
I don't know.
I've
He
been
does it.
Through her
for
chest, a
Shango.
lightning bolt was sent.
Yeah, methinks lightning bolt was the cause of her death.
No.
Yeah, no. We're talking episode 2 and 3 Yoda, not
Yeah.
deranged, crazy Dagobah Yoda.
I'll look at Shango and nod and say, then I thank you for that, Shango. At least some justice was served.
Yeah, Vike's gonna kind of just stand up. He's sick of hearing this, and I'm gonna take watch, and I just leave the bubble.
Alrighty.
I'm going to turn to Biero and go, if you require any psychological counseling over this matter, I am the one you should speak with. I am here for you if you need it.
I may take you up on that, and out of character, I may take him up on that just because that's got to be fucking awesome.
I honestly want
There are many different kinds of psychological counseling.
We are not taking proper care of those coming back from war with PTSD.
The health of the mind is as
We
important
always
as the health
say
of the body
never
and the
forget,
health of the-
yet they are the most forgotten.
Bureau, another question. Does the name Luca ring any bells?
Does the name Luca ring any bells?
Luca
that was-
Brasi sleeps
That was
with the fish.
that was the guy who owned the wand.
I don't think
It was
his
her
name was Luca.
It was something like that.
Luzak.
Luzak, yeah.
Yeah.
So I say that. I was close.
It does ring a bell. Barrow Luzak was Grood's right-hand man and a fairly powerful magic practitioner. He counterspelled more than a couple of your spells in your attempt and escape.
You got this wand off of Luzak, did you?
Yeah, that's his.
I'll look down at the wand and I'll look kind of thoughtful, partially disgusted at holding something of Luzak's, but then at least I've got a piece of what's left of him.
Yeah, it did me a lot of good. A lot of bad, but a lot of good.
Well, then I will put it to use to continue to make up for that filth's use of it.
Yeah. Fike did a number on him. I say that. Well, this is all stage whisper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, out of character. Fike and those gnolls pretty much wiped out those guys, right?
Yeah, the whole arcane artillery. That was-
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Fike eviscerated him pretty good.
Oh,
Well,
the good
then-
old days.
That was one of the hairs that was in the boxes that you said that was creepy. So
Creepy box.
you would have known about this so much earlier if you just didn't say this is a creepy box.
Yeah, actually. Weird how things work out like that.
I kind of wish Bureau was there with us.
Mm.
Then I could see PTSD Bureau in the moment and see like him just go ape shit on everybody.
I'll look around again at the group and I'll say,
Back then, that was not too long after his mission to Zarm, so.
Really?
Yeah.
yeah,
Interesting.
Not
That's pretty
super
quick.
long. I mean, a few months, but yeah.
Interesting.
I think I must have been blessed when the day that I stumbled across you all. I'm glad to have come across the folks that achieve the justice that I could not.
Oh, thanks, Bureau.
And with that, emotionally exhausted, I'll probably curl into my sleeping bag or whatever we're using and
Okay.
get some sleep.
Alrighty. It looks like Fike's taking first watch. Does anybody want to take second and third?
I'll do second.
I'll go out third.
All right. So you guys all hunkered down inside the dome for a long rest as the moons of Exandria are high in the sky at this point. A lot easier to see out here at sea, which you remember, Noxus. The stars are a lot more vibrant, and the celestial bodies are a lot more vibrant out here with so much less light pollution being close to cities and land. But you guys find yourself to a rest. Fike, as you're on first watch, go ahead and make a perception check for me.
I'm gonna use a luck.
Okay.
I'll keep the original roll.
Really? Your watch goes about fairly uneventfully. And you remember Renata had volunteered for second watch. Your eyes are starting to get pretty heavy.
I head back into the bubble and I just grab her boot and I just shake her a little bit. I go, Ren, it's your watch.
All right. Thank you, Fike. Red. Sorry. And head out.
Alrighty. Make a perception check for me.
Come on. And just because I haven't used it, I'm gonna activate. As she gets on watch, she's gonna do enhance ability for.
Use your Okay.
Yeah.
Owl's wisdom.
Yep.
21. As you're kind of wandering around the deck of the ship, almost doing like a not circular, but like walking along the rail, from, just doing, rounds around the ship. The snoring of the other crew members and the noise of the the waves kind of lapping against the ship. A different sound breaks through them as you hear coming from below decks by one of the, I forget what those things are called, the like crisscrossed planks that you can like lift up to lower cargo down in.
I don't remember
A
what they
hatch?
are either.
The hatch or lattice,
Hatching,
like the latticed hatch is there.
Hmm.
You can hear what sounds like some voices traveling up from them. You're a little too far away to make anything out, but like to make out specifics, but
Might try to make sure nobody's awake. Otherwise, might try to head that way and see if she can actually hear anything.
with your perception roll with that perception roll, you kind of look around. Everybody above deck appears to be out cold.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just try to head over a little bit to that hatch and try to listen better. Oh, which one? This one?
It was that one, yep. And you kind of make your way over. Make a stealth check for me.
Okay.
Oof, not a great roll.
Also, what the heck is it rolling? Because holy crap, that's
What?
just.
That is.
What is it
That's
even?
weird. What the hell?
Roll 20.
Whoa.
That's
What
weird.
is with you?
It did
today?
it did it for the last couple
what
rolls
happened?
too.
It's
0 D1 plus 0 times 4 times 1. What the fuck?
All of these are weird. I just noticed. Holy
They're
moly.
all weird, but
Yeah, it's at least seems to be correct.
all right. You walk on your balls of your feet over to the opening and kind of get low, and you hear a little bit board creak, and you kind of wince for a second, but the conversation doesn't appear to break as you kind of lean down in closer to hear the conversation that's going on. It appears to be between 3 distinct voices, 2 more effeminate and 1 more masculine. You don't understand Goblin, do you?
No.
No. All right. So the conversation is in Goblin. You can't understand what's being said, but there's a conversation being had. The 2 more effeminate voices appear to be speaking in an inquisitive and questioning tone, and the male voice seems to be speaking at first in a calm and reassuring tone, and when their inquisitiveness persists, he gets a bit more forceful, and they kind of cut it out fairly quickly.
Do I recognize any of the voices? Does it sound like the one that actually comes above deck?
The male voice does sound like the one that has come above deck and spoken to Shango a couple times now. But yeah, the conversation goes on for the voices don't get too raised, but the conversation goes on for about 10 or 15 minutes. The male voice appears to give them some orders, and then they disperse.
Okay. For note, does like Goblin alphabet look much different than like anything, or is it like same?
You don't know. You're unfamiliar with their alphabet.
Yeah, because the most I could do is maybe like try to write down some of the words phonetically and see if anyone knows them. Might try that just in case, but she doesn't know if anyone knows. Or if like Shango could comprehend on it.
Make an intelligence check with disadvantage.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's like someone who's never heard Spanish before, and you're trying to decipher it, and it's just looks like the markings on the page look like a kindergartner who got a hold of some I'm writing words.
Yeah. The size of it.
Hola spelled with an H.
Internal sigh.
Yeah. But anyway, the rest of your watch goes uneventfully.
All right.
And Noxus had volunteered for a third watch.
Yep. So I'll go back to gently wake up Noxus and kind of very quietly relay what she heard, even though she can't really explain what was actually said, just kind of like the tone and the different voices.
That's okay. That means there's 2 women. Hobgoblins. We gotta watch out for. Alright. I'm up.
Good watch.
Yep. By the way, everybody takes 7 temporary hit points.
How many?
There you go. 7.
7. Sweet.
I will climb up to the so like here's the deck, and then that next mast cross that goes across. Yeah, I will go up on there, and I will sit my back against the mast, and I will kind of periodically look around, and it's everybody's sleeping. I wouldn't do that, but yeah, I'll just kind of look around and kind of stay perched up there like a bird of prey, watching.
Make a perception check.
Don't fuck me.
Hey!
You perch up there, keeping an eye out for danger, watching like a hawk from its perch, for any possible danger. None appear to come. You do get to watch a beautiful sunrise at sea for the first time in a long time. And as you do, you also see what looks to be this really cool sight as you're kind of from an aerial perspective. You watch this family of whales kind of like a few hundred yards off, like 100 yards off from the ship, coming up and like spraying their, from their blowholes, like the big sprays out in the air. A couple of the calves kind of jump up out of and splash into the water a little bit. It's very tranquil and relaxing as the sun comes up and the rest of the crew starts to wake up.
Well, once I start seeing like the crew wake up and a good amount of them are awake, I'll pull out my ocarina and I will terribly trying to teach myself how to play.
The rest of you are awoken by what sounds like someone stepping on a rooster. Like a kid learning to play hot cross buns on the recorder for the first time.
Oh no.
DM,
Yes.
I probably would have like gotten up with the sun. You know, when you get old, it's hard to sleep,
Yeah.
like stay asleep. So I
Gotta
probably
get
would
up
have
and
I'm
go to the
getting
bathroom a few times throughout the night.
Well, I mean,
I'm
that's what my
getting there.
shell's for.
Yeah.
What?
He's got plumbing in there. It's great.
He's walking around with his own commode. That's pretty handy.
But yeah, you're up pretty early. You as you usually are, Tharn.
Yeah. Also, I didn't take a watch, so yeah, I'm up pretty early.
Yeah.
Interesting racket you make with that thing.
Yeah, I don't really know how to play it. I like it though. I wanna
We
wanna
can
learn.
all tell.
Yes, perhaps an evening adventure, Noxus.
Just as a note, Bill, I'd like to, over the long rest, unattune from the wand and reattune to my cloak of elvenkind.
Okay. Does the cloak require attunement?
Yes.
I think it does.
I can't remember.
I remember looking at it one day and say,
All right, we'll say it does. So
Yep.
so you unattune from the wand and reattune to your cloak.
Okay.
As the morning comes, Gator, Kane, and Abelia make their way up from below decks. As Gator makes his way to the wheel, orders the anchor to be lifted, takes those loops off of the stationary ropes off of the wheel, and orders the sails to be lowered, and you guys take off. As he says, should only be about half a day before you are near before you're back to Onua.
so the whole time that he walks from the stairs to the helm, I am still playing terribly.
Okay. He kind of stops, looks up at you, shakes his head, and kind of like rubs his finger in his ear hole a little bit. And sounds like you need more practice there, boy.
Yeah, it's my first go at it.
Oh. Yep.
So it is.
Aye, that be true.
He goes, maybe leave the praying to the shantyman for now. He points at Biero.
Oh, I was just taking out my Salakine.
Well, he didn't know that you play. So you guys get back to speed as you begin sailing across the bay,
The Great Bay.
the Dagger Bay.
The Dagger Bay.
And it does not take that long for those of you who are weather and naturally minded to recognize that you appear to be Tharn, Shango. You would both recognize this, and probably Noxus as well. And after a while, the rest of you, if they don't bring it up, which I imagine one of them might, but it appears you are heading in a direct your course appears to be heading directly at that stationary storm in the distance.
Hmm.
Hey, Cortanus,
Mhm.
you see that rope right there? That's called a lifeline. You might want to use it.
All right. Takes the rope.
And I will teach her how to tie it to herself.
Okay. You should do a special knot for you to be able to tie that around your waist. Explains to you that if you are to fall from the rigging, this will keep you from splatting your head open like a cantaloupe on the deck.
Or the water.
'Tis most useful, yes.
Which, the water falling into that less lethal, but stings like the dickens.
Yeah.
Any higher? Yeah, you're going to die.
If there's nothing you guys would like to do throughout the morning other than help with the running of the ship,
I was going to say I was going to be a dick and start playing my ocarina again, but
I'll keep my cloak up and try to do as many of my chores near the grate where the hobgoblins' voices might come up. Knowing that I don't speak it, but if they happen to say anything in common, I'll just try to pick anything up.
did you tell the rest of the party about that?
Yeah,
Renata?
like as best as possible when people are waking up, just
Okay.
quietly.
Make
Just not gonna hold back
a
that shit.
perception check, Bureau.
Percepciones.
Percepciones.
That's Spanish.
Perception. Great.
Yeah, you don't pick anything up
Story of our life.
throughout the day.
Okay.
Sorry, bud.
However, throughout the day, at a certain point, around probably like 11:30, almost like walking through a curtain, you pass from fairly sunny, cloudless skies to overcast skies to a pretty decent rain and downpour, with fairly strong winds.
Oh, you were right, Noxus. Albeit this doth not seem normal in any sense. Looking
What? What did you say?
This doth not seem normal, but you were correct about the weather.
The fleas have the what?
As you continue on through the storm, Gator shouting out orders, the crew kind of hopping to. The ride isn't as choppy and bad as you would think. With an expert crew and an expert sailor like Gator at the helm, things seem to be going pretty well. Eventually, you come to an area where you see a coast or in a beach on the horizon that looks to be where you are. However, Gator calls out for the sails to be dropped and the anchors to be dropped as you come to a complete halt a few hundred yards off of the coastline. As he says, "We ain't got no fancy ports, so we'll have to be taking the dinghies in."
Quit playing with your dinghy.
We're going blind.
As you can see, for the first time, coming up from below deck, not only oops. What the heck? Come on. Not only the one hobgoblin, but he is flanked on either side by two female hobgoblins of a different visage than the other female hobgoblins you've seen in the past.
They hot.
Are they of a color that I mentioned already?
They are. They are less furry.
They're hot goblins.
Are they hot?
I don't know. You can decide that for yourself. Their pictures are on the screen.
Okay.
You recognize by their uniform and their shorn appearance bureau, you recognize them as members of the Iron Shadow, a agency in the Iron Authority that you were briefed on before you went there. They are kind of like a combination of like Shaolin monks and the Iron Authority's secret police.
Oh, that's not.
They can
And-
fight.
And they are not hot. They look like dogs.
As they make their way up to the helmsman's position, following the male hobgoblin, who exchanges some words with Gator that you can't hear because of the storm. And after they do, one of the dinghies is lowered with them in it, as just the three of them begin to row off towards the shore.
So in a quiet moment, if there is one, I'll tell them about the associations with the Iron Shadow. And can we see like whatever island they?
It's not an island.
So where they're headed to?
They're headed to a beach.
Okay.
Here, let's do this. They're headed right there. You guys appear to be parked a couple hundred, like 200-300 yards off the shore in this bay, and those three got into a small rowboat that is now heading towards the shore. There's a few other, air quotes, lifeboats slash, shore party boats that are being loaded up with the haul that you guys got from both the North Beacon of the Sood and all the stuff you took off the other ship. And there's probably like four of these boats. Gator tells you that they're probably going to have to make that they'll have to make a couple trips to get all of it. You don't have to worry about that. But he explains to you that he comes up to you, Noxus, and says, "You and yours can head ashore and find yourself some shelter and some drink. I need to go pay the benefactor their share."
Yeah, sure. We'll take ours, so everybody else can take theirs. So don't even worry about it. We'll take care of our own.
Excellent. He climbs down into one of the dinghies. It gets loaded down with treasure. Specifically, it also has that big chest of sapphires in it. As they begin to head off in a slightly different direction than the rest of the dinghies.
How much off, like with my navigation knowledge, how far off, and am I able to traject where they might be going so that I can give us enough berth so they don't see us coming?
Make a navigator's tools check using your wisdom. So your wisdom and proficiency.
Woo!
Break out your sextant. There
Woo
it is.
woo!
You specifically kind of tell your party to be slow about getting into your ship, and the rest of the crew appears to be heading off with their first load of treasure towards the beach, and they appear to be heading. They're heading to a beach that, from your location, is almost like northeast from where you guys are. Gator is almost on like if you're like in a 45-degree rotation from that. Like if you were to turn 45 degrees from the heading that you guys would be heading, he appears to be heading off in that direction.
So north due north, right?
Sort of. It's not that big of a difference in the heading, because it's only about 45 degrees. But you watch too as their ship kind of disappears behind behind a rock formation where there appears to be the mouth of a river that spills out into the bay.
Okay. I basically tell everybody to get in our small boat.
Your folding boat, yeah.
Yeah, and we need to hang back, and we're gonna go this way.
All right.
So you're gonna follow him.
That is the plan.
I
And I want to do it to where there's enough space where we're not being watched.
What about your
Okay.
scrying, Noxus?
I'm not gonna be able to see the benefactor. I mean,
But a location without us following them so closely.
Yeah, I don't think we're all in agreement with this, Nox. No offense.
what do you guys want to do then?
Should we follow them and murder them?
No. I mean, we got to find out what this thing is. Last time I tried it, do very fucking well.
Well, I imagine we could go to wherever they are with it, murder them, murder it, and then move on with our lives.
I think you should follow orders for right now.
Mm-hmm. But
that's just my opinion, but
like I said, perhaps you
will
could
follow
scry
you
on
anyway.
the boat or him.
With my navigator tools, I have a general area of where they're gonna berth, correct?
Yeah. They do disappear kind of behind a rock formation. There's these almost like these spires of rock, probably differing between like 60 to 150 feet across in diameter, that kind of shoot up out of the bay, out of the water, and have this like different vegetation growing on them at different levels, and that they appear to have disappeared behind.
Well, Nox, if you can make me fly, I can make myself invisible and try to get a closer eye.
Huh. We don't have the dust.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. We use while we followed.
Yeah, then it's just an empty boat following people, though.
Yes, that is not subtle.
Oh, good point.
I don't know. Would the dust make the boat invisible?
You don't know.
I mean, it's worth a try because I at least want to know where this hole is, so that we can find it later.
Didn't you say they're capable of seeing magical illusions placed over things? I don't.
That is a fear.
I mean, yeah, them not so much because he doesn't really need magic. He doesn't really like it. So I don't think he has it, nor do the other two. That's just my assumption.
Didn't you say the hobgoblins were with them?
No.
The
No, they went
hobgoblins
separate.
headed towards the beach.
Oh.
And perhaps a mixture of the two, flight and invisibility, and then scrying occasionally.
I mean, yeah. We
Get
can
a
get
path?
to shore. I mean, listen, we got two options. Let's take a vote. If my idea doesn't work, if my idea doesn't get voted for, we're going.
All right.
So,
Well,
so
so
all. Go ahead.
not so much. Well, I guess it doesn't need to be out of character. So if Nox and I both fly invisibly over there, we could at least be able to scry a little bit better, having known the place, right?
Probably. I mean, I've seen the inside of it, so I could just scry on it.
How long does invisibility last?
Believe it's an hour.
Mm-hmm.
The second level is an hour. Greater invisibility lasts a minute.
Right.
My flying only lasts 10 minutes, so we have to get close.
Well, that should, if it was like 200 yards, you said, that's like a minute's worth of flying.
The beach is like 200-300 yards away. Where they disappeared around that rock formation is probably 400 to 500 yards away.
Okay.
So we would have enough to get there, look around, and come back. We wouldn't be able to make it to the hole.
Anyone got any better ideas?
I mean, we could just go to shore and I can scry on the
That's my
cave.
thought.
If that's the safer option, let's vote.
Either on the caves or perhaps on him at one point. Perhaps we may get a better path between the 2 points.
All right, so the two options. 1, we follow him. 2, we go to shore and I scry. All in favor for following, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All in favor for going to shore and scrying, say aye.
Aye.
Say aye.
Not gonna vote.
Art.
Not gonna vote
Darn.
for Shango, but
We got
Tharn, do
Tharn.
you have an opinion?
Yes. I already asked for a better plan. I already gave. We shall wait here. They come back. We murder them, and then go up the river and find where they were putting the things, then kill whatever was.
But we doth not know how to get there entirely.
Nox just told us, go that way, and I point towards the rock up the.
I don't know where the hole is from there though.
Seen it.
Sorry,
What?
you kind
Cut out
of
completely.
there, Mark.
Oh no, we lost him.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, he probably hit a bad spot.
Mm-hmm.
Hello?
Well,
There.
There
you go.
you are. Yeah.
Hello?
Say that again.
Hello?
There you
Yeah.
are.
Say that again.
Hello?
Hello.
We can hear
cannot
you.
hear us.
Hey,
Can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay.
All right.
Hello?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Mostly. There's a little bit of cutting in and out, but I just heard you ask if I could hear you.
Yes. All right. So yeah, so we can hear you, but we missed the last thing that you said about after waiting for them to come back and then killing them, and then they said, yeah, but we don't know where the mouth of the cave is, and then whatever you said after that we didn't hear.
Oh. What I said was, yes, you do. And I point towards the rock up the river. I'm like, you said they went that way. You said you've seen the cave. You said you've seen in the cave. We can go.
Well,
All in
We-
favor for Tharn's idea, say aye.
we can
Shango would have
always-
voted for my idea.
A three-way frickin' tie.
They've been getting really close on the boat over the last few days.
Well, why don't we get to shore?
Shango says, I will say this. Shango pipes in and says, I don't see why any ideas need to be mutually exclusive.
That is true.
Perhaps Noxus and Biero can invisibly fly around that rock formation to see if the mouth of the cave is over there and then come back.
It's a good idea, Shango.
All right, good
And
idea.
then-
And I touch Bureau and I cast Fly on us.
And then I cast invisibility on us. Let's go.
And
And
I
you guys
give
would-
them the boat. I give them the boat before I leave.
Yeah, I'm assuming you guys were on the boat. I will say
Yeah.
at this point, you're actually a little bit closer now because you've been in the process of taking the boat towards the beach.
Mm-hmm.
So you're probably only like 400 feet away from over there. So I would say you watch as Bureau and Noxus take off from the ship, but they're invisible.
Yep.
So
So Ren's gonna take
you feel the
rowing.
weight shift from them leaving as the boat kind of rocks a little bit as the four of you start heading. There's four of you start heading towards the beach as Noxus and Bureau holding hands like the Peter Pan kids, so they don't lose each other. Take off.
I turn to the other people on the boat and go, do any of you know how to steer this thing?
Yes.
And/or
Ren is
put it
just
back into a box?
rowing. I assume this is a rowboat because it's
Oh
a
yeah,
dinghy.
yeah. It's a row.
It-
It's
this-
the smaller
yeah.
boat.
This
So,
is
yeah.
the smaller rowboat, yeah. So
I got
Okay.
this. I
Do
got
any
this.
of you know how to fold this up when we're done?
Yes, we have been
Yes.
given instruction.
Fike was the one that figured it out.
Yes.
Boat. Shit.
Sure.
all right, so Bureau and Noxus, you guys take off and start just jamming through. I imagine you're using your movement and your action to dash. So you're with the
Pretty
5 speed of 60, you're moving at 120 feet per round.
I
So
moved 80 feet. Thank you very much. No, I'm just kidding.
so you're actually moving at a pretty good clip. With that speed, in a matter of about 30 seconds or so, you come banking around that rock formation. And I'd like the two of you to make perception checks.
Oof.
Cow.
Yes.
Bureau, with the wind and the rain and the storm, a palm frond that's caught up in the wind just smacks you in the face as you guys are flying.
Tree frog just hits you right in the
Yeah.
mouth.
Just whack, like right in your face, and you get some salt water in your eye, and it starts to sting. You imagine that if you could see your reflection now, your one eye is probably getting red and swollen up. But as you guys come around, Noxus, about another 100 and 150 feet, as you guys come around the corner of that rock formation, you look over and you can see that there is the mouth of a river that's draining out into the bay. And about 100 to 150 feet to the right of that, there appears to be a fairly circular opening in the rock that has some vegetation waving in the wind, kind of like vines hanging down over it. That's kind of like waving in the wind. It's probably from where you guys are now, like 200 feet away.
I will ask Bureau. I'll look around to see how close he is to us.
I'm sorry?
I will look around to see how close Bureau is to us. Not Bureau. Gator.
Oh, Gator. You can
holding
with
your
a,
hand,
with your natural 20, you can kind of see them just disappearing into the
hole.
into the mouth of the cave. Yeah.
I'll say Bureau. They're going in. You want to get closer, squeeze my hand, or you can just talk. I don't care. Or you want to go back to the ship?
Let's keep going, Nox.
Alrighty.
Still got the accent. He's just stuck there now.
Yeah.
Bureau, by the way, it's just me. You don't need to accent up.
Fair enough. It is kind of fun.
I mean, if you want to do it, you can. I'm just saying, you don't need
I'm gonna tell you
to.
stop. I'm just saying.
If you feel compelled to, go right ahead.
All right, so you guys take off, bolting through the wind and the rain and the storm, kind of having to hold your hands up in front of your face a little bit to block from the the rain, just kind of like pelting you in the face. The closer you're getting to the mouth of this cave, it almost feels like the storm's getting more intense.
So I have an interior clock on when we need to get back, correct?
Yes, it's been about a minute.
Okay, so
So you got
we
like
plenty
9
of time.
minutes. So you guys bolt down towards. You get to the mouth of the cave, and you kind of pull up and kind of float there as the vegetation that kind of hangs down in front of the cave is waving back and forth from the wind and from the surf kind of banging into it. It's a fairly circular opening, probably like approximately like 20-25 feet in diameter. And you imagine as you're kind of getting into the shallows a bit,
We're all imagining, Will.
I hope so.
The shallow.
The you imagine it's probably a similar height diameter as well, though there is the water does go right into the cave, so the clearance from the top of the water to the top of the mouth of this cave is probably only 15 or so feet.
Okay. I think we should at least go in a little bit to make sure this is the right cave, and then we fly the fuck back.
Also, if you two could make another set of perception checks for me.
That's better.
Be able to get that salt water out of your eyes, Barrow.
Hooray.
As you kind of peer at the entrance of the mouth of this cave, Bureau, as a moment when the vegetation kind of shifts to one side, you can see the flicker inside of what looks like lamplight or firelight.
Okay. Do you want to go further?
Not really. If it's the one, I'm good. Let's go back, and I'll scry. We don't need to go in. Unless you want to go in, but we don't need to. That'd be really fucking stupid.
All right, let's go back.
And we turn around and fly the fuck back.
Alrighty. So you two fly the fuck away without actually peeking in through the vegetation.
We got our confirmation. That's all we needed.
All right. You guys go terrassing back. The rest of you back on the boat are just kind of lollygagging, taking your
I imagine
time.
we've just run aground and are just sitting there.
Just keep going. Just keep the motions.
You kind of you're just doing
a little bit. No,
like
Ren was just worried about them a little bit, so just keeps going through the motions, even though we're already on the shore.
Well, no, yeah, it's like those people that are like trying to delay, so they're almost purposefully doing a task as slow as they possibly can, just to try
That's
and
Thorn's
buy
normal
time.
state of being.
Yeah.
I want to think that Ren has one oar and we've just been going in a circle for the past 15 minutes.
We need a way to make it seem like we're slowing down. I just take one of the oars and just throw it 10 feet.
Yeah.
Right.
No, Thorn, go get that. I throw Thorn 10 feet.
I see the oar in the water, and I dive down and I grab it.
But anyway, as you guys kind of beach the your smaller boat and kind of start pulling it up onto the sand, taking your time, slowly getting out, kind of checking your gear, taking your time and getting out. You say the magic word to fold the boat. Nox, Bureau, do you guys just kind of like land next to them and reappear, or what do you do?
I want to scare the fuck out of them.
Sure.
So what do you do?
So I will, as quietly as I can, fly right behind Cortanus, Renata, and just go, boo.
Just like that.
Yeah.
Make a stealth check with advantage. Cortanus or Renata, make a perception check.
It's not a hard one to beat.
You hear what sounds like a pair of heavy dragon-born feet hitting the sand behind you
Oh, hello, Noxus.
before you're able to say "boo." Noxus.
Gosh. Damn it.
So
Mike is an idiot.
What?
Backfell ghost! Ah!
Well, you're not intending to land.
Piss off, ghost.
No, I was
Ghost?
trying
Where?
to
Where is
scare
ghost?
you. No, there is no ghost. We're good.
do you
We're good.
drop
Who
the
said
spell?
that?
You drop
Yeah.
the spell, Bureau.
Yeah, I'll drop the spell.
All right. Apparating out of nowhere is Noxus and Bureau, as they just appear next to you on the beach as you
I
are.
cast Firestorm.
Whoa, hey, whoa!
Wherefore wouldst I be
A
afraid of you,
column
Noxus?
radiant fire just emerges from the ground and engulfs both Bureau and Noxus.
And we die.
It's on the sand, so you guys are frozen in carbonite with faces of fear. Roll stats.
The storm appears to be continuing to rage on.
All
What
right,
didst you find?
I look around to see if there's anybody around us.
All of you kind of take a moment to look around. You can see that not like immediately next to you, but there are several other of those ship or smaller boats that were full of the loot that have been beached on the same beach as you guys. Not like right next to you guys or anything, like several, 20, 30 feet away. They appear to be being unloaded of the treasures. There appears to have been several other humanoid individuals of various races, half orcs, dwarves, humans, half elves, halflings, that are helping to unload the other boats with loot, and they appear to be taking them into a path that's opened up in the jungly forested area. That's probably 50 or 60 feet from the shore. There appears to be a jungle path that they're taking it down. Some of them are giving you not like terse looks, but just kind of like noticing, oh, those people are new.
We're not Earth, we're Dagger Bay.
Those people are new, and some of them appear to look at their compatriots who kind of appear to explain you away. Help finish offloading the boats, and once those are offloaded by the people who had met them at the shore, they appear to push those boats back off to head back out to get the rest.
There are prying eyes. We
Uh,
might us.
Noxus, for next time, remember you can tell us while you are flying. And then she holds up the bracelet wrist.
Oh, right. That thing. Yeah, maybe we should go find a place quiet where no one can hear us.
Yes, I'm sure that is very easy to find in a pirate community.
Right.
When we start walking, I'm getting soaked.
Yeah, let's start walking. Oh, I have an idea. Are there any dragonborn around?
Make a perception check. You do not see anybody in the group that came to unload the boats.
So, I'm gonna make myself make us look like an ass. Make an ass out of you and me, and I will assume that none of them speak Draconic. So I will start telling I saw.
I'm going to say that they don't possess the skill in Draconic for you to be able to, in detail, explain to them what you saw. Not yet.
What is this about a library?
Gosh damn it, you and your
Who are you
library.
guessing now?
So many words sound like library.
Simplified. I found the hole.
All right.
Congratulations.
Were you not there, Biero? Did you not also find the hole?
I'm a bard.
He always finds the hole.
All right.
Come on, that was funny.
But I mean,
dual
you guys have
wielding
enough...
paper, like rolled up newspaper.
I will say, Noxus, with the sounds of the storm and the surf, you guys have enough distance between you and anyone else. If you wanted to explain to them what you saw, you think you'd be able to without being overheard.
Yeah, we found the hole. We saw them go in. Looks like it was it. I'm gonna scry on the inside of it. Yeah.
All
It's
right.
about, I kind of give them an idea where it's like, for sake of brevity, I just explained the whole situation.
Yeah. He relays to all the information that I relayed to them.
Okay. All right. So perhaps we should find some place where we can sit and allow Noxus to scry.
Yeah, I'm gonna start walking towards like something, just a building that looks lit.
You do not see any buildings that look lit. You see a path through a forested jungle.
I say we just keep following them and we find something.
I'll just start walking then. I'll just follow footprints to the same.
I will put my hand on Fike and I will cast Prestidigitation. Can't even fucking say it. And I will basically...
Every time you say it, it sounds like you're drunk.
It's like saying judicial system.
Judicial system. I can say that perfectly fine. I can't say Prestidigitation.
You sound like a drunk magician. Abracadabra. And
Abracadabra.
the bunny's gone.
So I basically warm him up and I drink every so often.
All right, you basically
I do that to
hair dryer.
I do that to anybody who asks.
Yes, please.
You guys make your way off the beach, pocket your folding boat as it's now back in its box form. You begin to make your way towards the mouth of the path. As you begin to go down it, it's actually with the canopy of the forest. It actually provides fairly decent cover from the rain. So you're not just getting like drenched on anymore. You catch up after a little bit to the sort of line of pirates that are carrying the loot down this path. After about 20 minutes or so of walking, you come out of the path into a bit of a clearing. Into the best way for me to describe it would be to say it looks like Tortuga, if Tortuga had been set up in like Greek ruins. There's like collapsed buildings, and fallen columns, and amongst what is left standing of the buildings, there's like built on top of that are like these ramshackle kind of like driftwood and old ripped sails for tarped roofs to protect from the rain, kind of like ramshackle thrown together jerry rigged shelters.
Does any of the ruins look like familiar architecture?
Make a perception check. Perception? Yeah, perception one. 24. As you come in, as a matter of fact, yeah.
Oh, these are old.
You recognize they're not quite that old. They definitely bear some resemblance to architecture that you remember from your, your original life, I guess is what we'll call it. Your original life. But it's more like, like a culture that saw that and tried to emulate it a little bit, but also has their own little spin and flair on it. And it's not that old, even though they're still ruins. Because you remember being told by, I can't remember which member of the party made the right history check, but being told about the ruins of Onua and how old they are came from a time after the calamity, and they became ruins from the Jurassic Wars.
That would have been me.
That would have been. That was right. That was Tharn. Thank you for reminding me. Who explained
What I'm here for.
Yeah, who explained to you how they became ruins, what they were before, and that they were destroyed in a conflict that was specific to Taldore and not like the calamity, which was fought all across Exandria.
Hey guys.
You gotta roll?
I actually have to roll out. It was fun playing with you all. I could.
Yeah, have a good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Have a good thing.
Have a good night, man.
We'll see ya.
Have a good rest of your game.
Thanks.
Wait, this is your last session?
What?
No, this isn't just you just mean tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were like, oh, this is my last. It's fun. It's the way you were talking.
I'm out. I'm gone.
Done forever. Bye.
He might die on the way back. He almost got sideswiped.
Anyway, sorry.
Hey, any day could be my last.
Anyway, sorry. Have a good show, bud.
Have a good one.
Later.
Bring it
Later.
Bye.
Then seeing that just takes a second, like pauses and looks at everyone like, that is almost nostalgic.
It's actually a fairly big area and clearing. A lot of it is looked like it was being reclaimed by nature, but has now starting to be, the nature is kind of be pushed back against again by the current denizens. And as a matter of fact, you come out into the most immediate area.
Ooh.
Over here.
Is that where you would like us?
Well, I mean, you're not in combat or anything, but like, yeah, that's where you kind of come out from. The the thick of the forest.
The thicket. I will kind of tap Biro, and I will say in Draconic, sending counsel when you can.
Understood.
Couple of the as you guys are coming out, you get a couple more curious looks, and one of the piratey looking gentlemen, a kind of burly looking half orc, steps up and says, "So, you must be the new recruits."
That is apparent.
Yar.
I.
He looks at you, Biro, and goes, "Really?"
That's just rude.
It's so stereotypical. It's kind of rude. Like, we don't all talk like that, okay?
But I do. I'm offended that you would assume other.
Make a deception check.
Hey, get it?
He's actually very self-conscious about his voice. Come on.
Jesus. Fucking bards. Kind of looks at you and he goes, "All right, I'm sorry. I thought you were mocking me.
I'll think better of it next time.
Look, don't have many rules around here. You can find yourselves a dry spot and set up your own situation. There's more ruins further inland, but those are reserved for those that have earned their keep a bit more." And he kind of turns and looks at the pair of hobgoblins that are standing there, and says, and he kind of like nods his head towards them.
Are they in charge here?
Gator's in charge here. They are granted certain privileges.
Aye.
The two hobgoblins kind of standing off to the side of that shattered bridge kind of look at each other and kind of chuckle at his, trying to downplay trying to kind of chuckle at his and trying to downplay their status a bit.
Interesting.
We're free to cross then. I'm getting soaked, and my compatriots would like to find a place where we're not getting rained on, if you don't mind.
Yes, please.
Help yourself.
Thank you.
Kind of walks back over here.
So I'm guessing, out of character, I'm guessing what he meant by that is we can't cross the bridge.
No, you can. He's saying that even further inland, like
Than where we are.
further inland, like off the map that way, is is an area of more ruins. You're getting the sense there's a bit of a, I don't want to say caste system is too strong of a word, but there's definitely a hierarchy around here.
We are the untouchables.
You guys are the new kids on the block. Oh.
I would say.
Are we getting hazed?
Yeah, we are. I would say, why don't we go over there?
All right.
Fair enough.
Bear here.
I like that too.
You can go wherever you like. It appears no one's stopping you. You also watch as several of the people had they finished crossing the bridge. I should say, and I didn't do this earlier, and I really should have.
Would you say it's vital information for our everyday life?
I would. There
Thanks.
appears to be a ramshackle repair of the break in that bridge, made out of like what looked to be maybe pieces of an old shipwreck.
All right, so we actually have something we can cross.
Yeah.
I was gonna do a backflip over it, but yeah, it's fine.
Well, I mean, you
I'm
still
muddy for
can.
Full
water.
barrel roll. So I moved my token over.
All right,
Yeah,
let's
I
follow that
follow
way.
Knox.
Shango will, to
Make
get you
noise.
guys out of the rain.
Yes, hut.
Yeah, he's going to go ahead and make the dome.
Hooray!
Just locate your business in French Guiana. It's fine.
I cast prejudiciation on all of us, so we're dry.
Okay.
Thank you, Noxus.
I will never
Thank
be
you.
able to say that word. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Knox. You gotta sound it out when you say it. It's press the tidge day shown.
I
Wait,
doth not
Age?
believe that is correct.
I do declare that I believe you're wrong.
I do declare. I think I know what my next voice is.
You're looking around like how close people are. Like, doth you really need to continue that?
I mean, if he likes it, I told Bureau the same thing. So as long as they're around, y'all want to keep it up, keep it up.
Anyone within earshot or scrying distance, yes. I'm keeping this up.
All right.
All right.
Consider
First
it
point of-
another performance that I'm giving.
First point of order.
Fair enough.
Bureau, do me a solid and play me a limerick.
Play you a limerick?
How doth one play a limerick?
Just play a fucking song. Just play a song. Drown out our
will-
talking.
I will play a pirate shanty.
Alrighty. Make a performance check. First bard I've ever DM'd for who isn't proficient in performance.
Can
I guess it doesn't- Fuck you, Bill. I guess it doesn't matter.
well, yeah. See, it's the performance checks for people who don't do performance get crits. That's how we work.
The new website is giving us like 4 natural 20s.
I know, this is so great.
Yeah, you guys were complaining earlier. It's all messed up and.
I mean, it's still messed up. It's really. Have you seen
They
those?
fixed it. Yeah, it doesn't
No,
work.
no, no,
again.
no. They fixed it. It's fixed.
Like
No,
that looks
it's not
ridiculous.
fixed.
No, we're getting really good rolls.
Yeah.
Like we've had a couple shitty rolls.
Oh
Like,
shit!
look at that
Bill's
code
gone.
Ronka. It's insane.
No, I'm just relaunching.
Oh, okay.
See if it.
Bill
doesn't-
Bill basically said, "Fuck you, roll 20."
But you guys are in the dome. Bureau is playing a jaunty sea shanty on his fancy lute.
Knock it off, cat.
Okay, next point of order. I'm gonna scry. And
Did you guys have Shango make the
Bubble?
the bubble
Yeah.
see-through or opaque or?
out of
Opaque
character, what do
bubble.
you opaque? All right, so we gonna make it the color of the clouds.
Okay.
We're
So
inside
just
the
like
storm.
an overcast
Substorm.
gray color.
Yep. Anybody comes over, and they can knock on the door. Oh yeah, we just want some privacy.
I'll scare him
any-
off if I gotta.
Anyways, first point of order. I'm gonna scry on the thingy, and then second point of order. Bureau is gonna tell the council what I saw.
Yep.
All right.
Sounds like a good plan. Okay, here we go. And I will sit Indian cross leg, and I will do the thing like Julie.
Do the thing.
Alrighty, you sit down and pull out your crystal ball,
And I will do it on the location.
Mm-hmm. And you go to scry. And as your vision is pulled out from your body, it impacts with the barrier of the dome.
Oh shit! God, I forgot.
Ow, that hurt.
Are you
Oh, that
alright?
hurt.
And it is shunted back into your consciousness.
Oh no.
Oh,
The spell
that really
slot
hurt.
is spent.
Oh. Well, we got an hour then.
All right. I stand up and I walk out of the bubble over here, and I do it again.
You
You don't have any spell slots.
do you have 3 casts? Because you cast fly before.
You cast fly before.
Oh, I did. I forgot about that. So I will wait an hour. I forgot about that. Thank you.
I am most impressed by everything that's going on here.
Motherfucker, that hurt.
Well, if we must wait an hour, I might try to, like, get a bit of cloak, pull something up over her head at least, and she kind of wants to step out and examine, like, the ruins themselves, like, see if there's any, like, writing or anything like that, because they're interesting.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
Alright.
find food while Ren goes to do that. So.
Alrighty.
I will
what you're
teach
doing?
anybody who is left some draconic, because it's the only thing I'm good for at the moment.
Wise Nox.
For a lesson.
You stick around for some lessons.
Yep.
So Shango and Tharn and Bureau stick around for some lessons. Renata, you go to examine the ruins. You're getting more looks from the hobgoblins than you are the other humanoids. The other humanoids seem to be treating you with a sense of benign neglect at the moment.
Story of my life.
The hobgoblins, however, aren't like mean mugging you or anything. They're just kind of you. It's like they never relax. Their eyes are always kind of moving, not specifically on you, but kind of everybody. They're just always kind of keeping an eye out on things, and just constantly being vigil, always keeping track of where everybody is, that kind of thing.
Does that seem normal from the other hobgoblins we've run across? Like, we had the whole, like, fight, and, like, they had the whole, like, full military type style to them when we fought before.
I mean, the majority that you ran into hobgoblins, it was
they were
small contingent that were kind of like Grood's elite that were hobgoblins. The rest of them were all ravagers, which is a mix of ogres and half-orcs and orcs and goblins and other, bugbears and shit like that. These ones, as a soldier, you recognize, though, they appear to be extremely disciplined. They, from observing them a little bit right now in the kind of hour, they have posts. They stay at their posts. They stay vigilant. They stand not quite at attention, but it's as a soldier, especially from your original life, you can recognize those kind of militaristic and regimented and very disciplined kind of behaviors. They, you're getting a sense that they follow orders. They are completely devoted to the chain of command, and if they have an order to stand guard, that's exactly what they're gonna fucking do.
Yeah. And just like noting that, just kind of nods to herself and just kind of follows the rules around.
The pirates and sailors you see are very much the opposite of that.
Oh yeah.
Those that aren't that weren't hauling loot are kind of just lounging around.
Drunk.
Several of them are drinking, if not drunk. If not drunk, on the way to being drunk. There are a couple gambling games going on, dice and cards, especially those that are undercover. These ruins that you see, the ones with buildings on them, have almost like lean-to canvas, air quote, for lack of a better term, roofs on them, which is more like someone took old torn sails from a shipwreck, kind of stitched them together, put them on an angle over the top of these ruined walls to kind of turn them into makeshift shelters. There's some campfires going in and around them, some people cooking what looks to be like some hunted game, and some sort of seafood, crustaceans and fish over open like campfires. and things of that nature. And examining the ruins, and make investigation check for me.
Oh, this will be great. No. Stupid weather.
Yeah. In examining them, you can't really get out of them more than you did previously. They appear to be inspired by the time that you came from, but they are not from that.
Yeah, so
Right?
there's no like
It's
old
like,
language written or anything
yeah,
like that. It's
like
all...
how kind of like how Rome emulated Greek architecture. It's kind of like that.
I was half curious, like, if it was anything like written on it, kind of like Shango's rod had the weird, or was it that? Yeah, it was that rod that had the old comment on it.
Yeah, no, nothing like that. Not that you can see anyway,
Okay.
or are able to find.
And she's just having a little bit of a nostalgia at how similar but
Yeah.
different it is.
Yeah, it's more like, oh, I recognize that architecture. Like I've seen it before. It's not from home, but it's adjacent. It's like a cousin of that, like a
Yeah.
descendant of that kind of thing. You
Like
know
they're
what I mean?
missing this and this, and what are they doing with that? That is not.
That's different. It's not necessarily
It's a bit
wrong,
avant-garde.
it's different. Yeah. Fike, you are fairly easily able to find several different, like I was mentioning to Renata, places where stuff is being cooked. There appears to be one area where a large boar being roasted over a bigger fire, a couple other smaller fires that have what look like several fish and crustaceans being roasted over them, with several humanoids and piratey looking people huddled around under cover.
I'm assuming it's not like take what you want. It's
You can certainly try.
I'll just go ask one of the smaller fires. He goes, I'm assuming you guys are catching your own meals out here. It's not like a supplied thing.
Hey, you must be one of the new guys.
Yeah.
Sure alike, but you eat last.
Understood. I'll kind of just take a spot in the corner, wait for everyone to finish and get seconds, and then go pick up food for everybody.
All right. There's plenty.
Push the
There's
urge.
plenty available. Push the urge to what?
Just push the urge to oh, I've been bullied. I don't that doesn't sit well with me, and just push that urge down real deep.
Yeah, like I want to kick your ass, but we have a ruse to keep up, so you get a pass this time, kind of feeling.
When I kill all you die first.
Yes.
Yeah. So you wait like 20 minutes or so, and there's still plenty left. It's not like there's a scarcity of food. The area around here seems to be pretty rich with game, and the fish and seafood is plentiful. So you're able to get several wooden bowls full of what looks to be like some sort of seafood chowder or stew that someone cooked up in a big kettle.
Dagger Bay brand chowder. I'll take my tri-corner hat off. I put it over the bowl so I don't get rain in it, and I walk it back to the.
All right, make an acrobatics check carrying 6 wooden bowls of hot stew.
Does he require assistance, Mike? Red.
Apparently not. As he very deftly makes his way back over and hands out all to you. It's very plain, but it's hot.
That's what
and filling.
prestidigitation is for. And maybe mayonnaise. Yeah. We have the alchemy jug. Have some mayonnaise in your thing.
It needs salt, definitely. Where the fuck is that Amani and saffron? Need a little sprinkle of that.
It is nowhere to be seen.
Hmm.
It appeared to have been when you guys first got here. You could see it being taken further inland.
Oh yeah,
It's
they
all right,
get all the good shit.
We got some water crackers in our in our ration kit. Just crumple them up.
Yep.
Knocks off
All right.
prestidigitation. It'll be great.
Are you guys essentially taking a short rest then, so that Noxus can recover his spell slots?
Yes.
Aye.
Okay. You guys take a short rest. You can avail yourselves of that if you need to, regaining whatever stuff. I don't think you really need to, except for Noxus.
Mhm.
But the short rest comes to an end, and you appear to have been relatively left alone.
Perhaps you should attempt again over there. And she's gonna point towards this area outside the dome.
Yeah. I gotta make sure that I'm hidden. So
I can assist with that, so she can go out with him and like to basically like cover for him, like
sounds
keeping
good to me.
like keeping stuff up, and he can be behind. To like sit at the edge of the thing, like maybe take off her boots and just like put it in the the water and just sit there.
In the pouring rain.
Yep. She's got
Okay.
the thing up over, and she's basically using it to kind of like mask, to conceal what he's doing.
I'm gonna dunk my feet in the water in the pouring rain
Yeah.
to get them.
Hey, I've done it.
In a thunderstorm.
I've done it.
Thunderstorm. But anyway, so Noxus, you step outside the dome.
Mhm.
You sit down, pull out your crystal ball, and concentrate on
The location of the den of what is it, of the actually, you know what, can I scry on the sapphires?
I believe you could.
They might be in a
scry on an
box, so you might want it something that might be, yeah, I can try on an object, but maybe something that Gator was wearing.
I would say like Gator's probably gone by now. It's been an hour. I would say like the box that the sapphires are in. You know, not the inside of the box. I want to scry. You know what I mean. I want to see the inside of the room, and I want to see the sapphires because I know it wants it.
You can't target objects. You can target a creature or a location.
Then I will target the location where those sapphires were left that I've seen before.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Your vision, the crystal ball floats out of your hands and is infused with radiant light as your vision is pulled from your physical form and appears to jet through the stormy sky so fast that you can't see what's going on around you. It comes to rest in a familiar dark cavern. You see sandy floor beneath you on the ground. You see the familiar crystalline walls around you that you had seen before in your previous scries. Up against one wall, you see mounds of treasure. The same mounds that you had seen previously. Gold, platinum, jewels, pieces of artwork, chests, barrels of goods, all just piled up in a back area of this cavern. Off to one side, you can hear a familiar tune being played, one that you had heard before on some sort of stringed instrument, almost like a classical Spanish guitar, some sort of lullaby-like tune being strummed. This goes on for several minutes. As looking at make a perception check for me. This is not using your shield, so you do not get advantage. $15. As you kind of concentrate on the hoard of treasure in front of you, every once in a while you hear ding, 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 like a couple different coins settling, and you concentrate on one area and it appears to rise and lower ever so slightly. And you hear a other than the sound of the stringed instrument and the heavy breathing and the slow rising and falling of the mounds of treasure, nothing else catches your attention for a couple minutes. After a bit, almost out of your periphery, you sense what is like a flash of light. When that happens, you hear a few footsteps in the sand as a figure appears in the darkness, stepping towards the mound of treasure. Make another perception check. $17. The figure steps forward, wearing a large cloak with a hood. As the hood is pulled back, surprisingly, you recognize the figure. A human female, about 35 years old, exceptionally ugly from battle scars, with a pet monkey that perches on her shoulder. You recognize Etzel Tayakapan, one of the three individuals in contention for the position of lawmaster in Amman. You recognize her face for but a second as the hood is being the completion of it being pulled back. There's a shimmer of illusory magic, and a large orcish individual is there in its place. Female with dark hair and a thick braid that comes around their right shoulder, hanging down the front of their chest, with a thick iron wizard's staff in one hand. The figure speaks out into the room and says, "Galadon, come forth, winged storm. I have news and business to discuss from the Emperor." And your vision cuts out.
I would like to do it one more time.
You can't scry on the same location twice within 24 hours.
Can I scry on no? No,
that's a terrible idea.
That's risky.
I will say the last thing you notice before the vision cuts out is the treasure beginning to shift as something appeared to be rising up out of it.
Bureau, we got info.
Ooh, 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 ooh. Okay. Did I see who was playing the lute?
Gaildon.
Gail.
Like a gale, like a storm, like a gale.
Galadon. Oh.
It's like a what's it called? It's like a Power Ranger. Anyways, did I see the guy who's playing the Spanish guitar thing? Did I see him?
You did not.
Just heard it.
You just heard it. They appeared to be off outside of your visual range somewhere.
I will then go in the bubble with Renata. I will literally grab her and her boots while she is relaxing.
What?
Time to go.
First off, does Galadon ring a bell whatsoever?
Yeah. Galadon, the Winged Storm.
Yeah.
It's literally the name of the ship that you've been traveling on.
I knew the
last
Winged
couple of
Storm,
days.
but not Galadon.
Yeah, not Galadon.
There was also Galadon. No, that name does not. You've never heard that one before.
I sit down and I say, "All right, anybody know the name Galadon?"
Doesn't he?
particular name ring a bell?
None of you recognize it as anything.
Okay.
Noxus.
Okay. For one, something was sleeping. I don't know what it sounded like. I mean, I can guess, but it was under the treasure, and it moved up and down. So it's big. It's very big, and it likes treasure. And this thing came out, and it was, I don't remember how to say her name, but I say her name.
Etzel Tayakapan.
Tayakapan. So yeah, that person who's running for the council, Etzel Tayakapan. Yeah, she was there, but then she, like, when she took her hood down, she turned into this orc, half orc person lady, and she said, "Galadon, Winged Storm, like, we need you."
Just immediately looks at Biero.
Yeah.
Did you say something about the instructions from the Emperor?
I mean, I'll yeah. Said something about the Emperor needs him.
This is bad.
Yeah, we need to tell the council immediately, and we need to figure out an exit strategy, or we need to go kill this thing. I think we should go kill this thing.
Let's talk to the council first. Exit strategy is me.
Right.
And I will probably burn a couple of castings of sending to get this message over to Seeker Assume.
Are you going to step out of the
Yes.
dome first?
Yeah, over where we were.
Yeah, moving over to where they're at.
All right. So what do you?
Oh.
Sorry.
Ask him if he's pooping. I don't say that.
Do you need a distraction? This is going to be a lot of casting.
Well, at least they can, if it's opaque, at least most of these people can't see. It's mostly the people on the other side we got to worry about.
And right here.
No, I assume there's like a cliff here.
Yeah, there's changes of elevation there.
Yeah, I'll just seek shelter close to the cliff side.
Yeah, everyone go use your cell phone over there in that corner by the
wall.
I'll go out there and I will take a piss.
Okay.
And if anybody looks my way, I'm like, "Hey, don't be looking at my dick. Fuck you."
That be our drinking water, boy.
And then if they keep looking, be like what you see?
Actually, yeah, Bureau can just turn around and look like he's also taking a piss while he's doing this, like facing the cliffside.
So, I think I know who you're messaging, Bureau.
Yeah, seek or assume.
Seek or assume.
Yep.
What are you saying in your message?
Made landfall. Winged Storm's name is Galadon. Is huge and sleeps under a treasure hoard. Hobgoblins have a strong foothold. Members of the Iron Shadow here. Etzel Teakapon, not what she seems, is an orcish wizard. Delivered instructions from the Emperor to Galadon.
So that's what you say in your first message?
I'll burn 2 castings to get.
Well, I mean, you get responses in between if you want to wait for them.
I'll after. So I won't say the part about Etzel Teakapon in the first message.
Okay.
So I got all the way through telling him that members of the Iron Shadow are here.
Okay. He says, so you get a response back that says, that is disconcerting. They tend not to leave their own territory. They're usually used for the guarding and protection of high-ranking Iron Authority officials. I am worried, based on obvious descriptions, what is in that cave.
What's in the cave? What's in the cave?
Is that the end of his response?
The box.
I'm pretty sure that's as many words.
Yeah. So I'll send back, and I'll just say, there's more. Etzel Teakapon, not what she seems, is an orcish wizard. Delivered instructions from the Emperor to Galadon.
A long, drawn out.
Arrest that wizard!
Well, they're listening to the message and thinking about how they want to respond. He says, Etzel recently informed us she was leaving the city for business. Would be back for the vote within a week.
Oh, really? Intriguing.
Disconcerting information. If you and your compatriots are up to it, I think you should deal with it.
No one asks what it is.
Or say, deal with it, Shades.
Okay, and then I will, if he's done, I'll burn one more. I'll burn a 4th level slot to get one more sending out. Understood. We'll pass the message along. And we'll be trying to conserve magical abilities for what's ahead. Please send any additional advice or instructions through another caster if necessary.
All right, there's a short pause and says, this is disconcerting. The Iron Authority has made alliances with ancient and powerful beings in the past to assist them in military conquests, hoping the assumptions I'm making are wrong.
Okay. And I will tell the group. Said Seeker assumes very
You actually heard fear in his voice, and you've never heard that before.
It's a dragon.
Um,
Motherfucking dragon. I knew it.
I'll say he's never sounded like that before. He's sounded frightened. Etzel announced that she was leaving town for business, and I guess we know what that business is. He said that if we're up to it, he wants us to take care of whatever's in that cave.
I had a very bad feeling you were going to say that.
We would not be here if we were not prepared for something that Terrible.
Are you saying that the winged storm needs its wings clipped? Yeah!
You're taking away experience.
I suggest
It's always worth it, guys.
That was so worth it.
we discuss further in the dome.
I assume we were in
will-
the dorm.
I assumed you were in the dome.
Did we go back in after
The
sending?
dorm.
Yeah,
I
because
assume-
you were
I
talking to
assumed
everybody
you did.
else.
Oh, okay.
Are we making our move?
I assumed Assume would tell us what he was assuming, but apparently he didn't.
I think he thought it was implied in his response.
Yeah.
I think he thinks Bureau is smart enough to figure out what he was saying.
There's
So what do you
think
think?
about the worst time that Iman ever had that he lived through. That's the only thing I can think of that might cause him fear.
Civil War. Oh.
Infinity Stones. That bad.
What's an Infinity Stone?
Yes. What?
I think our best bet may be to get back into the cave when our best indication is that all the hobgoblins have left it. So we can try to take this thing on alone.
So tonight?
What if it's not there? What if it's leaving right now? Because it just basically said, we need you, and they're going. What if they are attacking?
Well, I just burned a lot of magic, but that's a good point.
If something that large comes out of the cave, would we not see it
We'd see
in the
it.
sky? Well, I suppose with the
look-
storm,
I
looking
look
it up. Oh, apparently.
Yeah, I look
Even
up.
with the storm.
There's opaque.
I could.
Well,
You can see out of the dome. People just can't see in.
It's opaque in.
It's like a one-way mirror kind of thing.
Yeah.
Tinted windows and all that.
Like, even with the storm, would we not hear something, see some shadow?
no, it would just be lightning, and the storm would cover whatever. Actually, quite honestly, if it moves, I wouldn't be surprised if this storm moved with it, because this storm is pretty stationary, and that's fucking weird.
Well, I mean, just
Stage
to use
whispering.
information- Yeah.
The look on
just to use
Renata's face right there was priceless. Like, oh shit.
just to use what knowledge we do have, we do understand that Thordak's lair, became volcanic because of him. So if that's its lair, maybe the storm is stationary and that's what it's over. It doesn't travel with him, it travels with his lair.
Yeah, that's a good point. Oh wait, hang on. So we all are saying that this is what we think it is, right? Can we just say it?
Dragon.
Motherfucker. Okay, what kind of dragon we talking about? Like, is this? I mean, a dragon's a dragon. Don't get me wrong. It's still gonna fucking suck. I don't think I've ever. The last time, no, I don't like them. This is not fun. I don't like this.
What dragon would make a lair around it with a storm following it? That's the question. I don't know too much about them, but
Would I have learned about anything like that in my studies?
Make an intelligence check. 16. I'll say with the events of the Chroma Conclave happening fairly recently.
Just to be honest, Bill, I think it added my jack of all trades to that, and I'm not sure it should do that for an intelligence check.
Yeah, it would.
It's a check.
Yeah, it's a check that you're not proficient in. So I would say that a little bit more of trying to understand dragons would probably be something that happened to prepare for something like that in the future. You would understand the basic breakdown of especially chromatic dragons. Red dragons, they're all of them being tied to different, the different scale colors, them being tied to different types of breath weapons and effects that they have on the land when they're make that area their lair. Having spent time in Thorax Crater and seeing how he affected the landscape around him there. Red dragons being associated with fire, green dragons with poison, black dragons with acid, white dragons with the cold, and blue dragons with lightning. It's safe to assume that with the storm raging on around you, things like that, you also remember reading some small snippets about blue dragons being particularly fond, I guess would be the word, of making their lairs around coastland and in deserts. What other small things you knew about blue dragons in particular would be from your studies. One of the things, some of the things you would have remembered would be that they are particularly brutal. And I'm sorry, that they are particularly vain and deadly. I mean, all chromatic dragons are vain. But a blue dragon will not stand for any remark or insinuation that it is weak or inferior. They like rocky coastlands and scarring badlands. As far as minions are concerned, they prefer and covet valuable and talented creatures whose service reinforces their sense of superiority. Bards, sages, artists, wizards, assassins, things of that nature. They also are, in their hordes, particularly fond of precious gems. Particularly anything considering blue to be the most noble and beautiful of colors for obvious reasons. So they covet sapphires.
Okay.
That's what
Okay.
you can remember from your studies.
So I'll share all of that with the group and say, best guess, blue dragon.
Great. Okay, so what's the game plan? Are we gonna rest for a night and play the part and talk to Gator a little more?
I think we're gonna have to jump.
We may just need to at this point.
If Gator's probably gonna want to, ship up and ship out.
Would I know Gator to be more of a partier and not be like, all right, we're done, we're going straight back out, like he's like all business? Is he more of a partier than he is all business?
I mean, Gator's still a pirate, so his first love is the sea, and he loves being at sea. But from what you remember and being with him for the time that you were, after a good loot job, and he actually mentioned this on the ship previously, though they might take a day, 2 or 3 to kind of revel in their success before they head back out.
Okay.
Less for him and more to placate his crew, allowing them to blow some steam off before they have to head back out and go to work.
So I relay that to everybody and just say, We got a few days, so we can at least get one to recover. We can't walk into this half cocked. And I look at Renata and go, "You know what that
Yes,
means."
I remembered this now.
You know,
that she pulls opens the page that she wrote that down and points it out.
Yep.
Yes,
I understood that
I
reference.
understood that reference.
I wrote that one down.
We're not in Kansas anymore.
Where's Kansas?
Kansas.
Well,
All of a sudden, Knox's head just shakes and blood starts coming out of his nose.
All right, so do we
Oh,
do
Fike,
it?
welcome back.
Yes, I no longer need to put up this ruse because apparently this is much bigger than me. Now, was it a fucking giant fuck off dragon? Was it a small? Fike is still like stage whispering,
Okay.
but in a panic
What-
voice.
Yeah.
Would I know how big?
You never
I
saw
know
it.
I know how big the opening is, but when I saw the breathing, could I tell
Yeah.
how big it was?
No.
How big is a room?
You could saw the shifting of the coins, like it kind of
Mhm.
raised a little bit. Some coins from the top of the pile would trickle and tink down to resettle, and then it would lower again and resettle. But like you never, and you saw right at the end, like as your vision was cutting out, you saw a form lifting up out of it, and all the treasure starting to shift and fall down around it. But you never, not enough to get an idea of the size.
I don't 100% know how big it is.
Definitely
I know how big.
bigger than you.
I mean, it's bigger. It's bigger than me. So yeah, that's not any help. But the opening is at least 25 feet in diameter, so
Look,
it can't be any bigger than that.
Well, that has to be
the
its
Emperor of the
wingspan.
Iron Authority is looking to have some sort of arrangement with this creature. It's not going to be a wormling.
No, it's gotta be. It's gotta be an adult. I mean, it can't be young. I mean, to be able to make a storm appear wherever it goes like that, it's gotta be an adult at least. If it's an ancient, oh my gosh, we're fucking dead. There's no way we can deal with this fucking dragon.
Through this entire thing, people might notice who have prior possession, Ren's hands are up against, holding on to the hilts of her blades with almost kind of a little bit of tension, but a little bit of excitement about it. A little bit.
We're all panicked, and you're
This is the
excited.
biggest fucker in the yard, and I'm gonna go punch it in the face to see how tough I am.
No, it's
Time to really
it's a
test
sort
myself.
of, it's a sort of almost, yeah, it's that little bit of this could be amazing, but that sort of,
The adrenaline's kicking in.
yeah, well,
Ren's got the same look on on Fike's face, but he's like,
It's the
I'm
night
gonna go to
before
the
the-
warehouse.
yeah,
It's the night before the Super Bowl.
yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm excited
This
as
is what
Rebel said
we
this
play
is-
for.
And then she just there's a moment as he's saying it might be ancient, he's freaking out well, if legends ought to be believed, there's no cause more just for a knight than to attempt to slay a dragon causing trouble. I am somewhat thrilled by the prospect.
Renata, you have to live to tell the story. You know that, right?
Yes, but we aren't
Not
going to do
accurate.
this either way, are we not?
All right, two options. One, we run. Two, we fight it, potentially die, or potentially become heroes. Everybody say aye for running. Okay, everybody potentially ready to die for Taldore, say aye.
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 Shango pipes up and says, "This mockery tries to replace the Storm Lord. It is only he who masters the storm."
And I guess Bahamut would be pretty happy if I took out a chromatic dragon from King Havoc, so I mean, fuck if I know if that's really what he wants, but I'm pretty sure he'd be happy if I brought balance to that. I don't fucking know.
If
You just
um,
hear Sean Connery's voice in the back of your mind. Fuck yes.
What the fuck? What was that?
Losers whine about doing their best.
I
Winners
have
go home and fuck the prom queen.
You're the man now, dog.
yes, you,
Who's
No,
this
you don't
dog?
really-
such an
you
old
don't-
name.
You don't really hear a voice, Noxus, but you feel a warmth in your hand, kind of the same sensation you feel when you summon your spear, almost.
Punch the dragon for God's sake.
Yep, there's my answer.
All right. So, memes and references aside, plan to deal with this encampment the night of. I have a half decent idea of what I could do.
Wait, you want us to
I'm
kill all
gonna-
these people?
No. I plan on bending to their nature in which they're going to be pirates, and if you offer them a large amount of ale, that all of them are going to get shit-faced.
Oh,
Ooh,
So-
the jug of alchemy.
Yes, if I could find a barrel and fill that sucker up with ale, and then we do it again, I can go, kind of sort of peace offering, looking like we're good guys, and get
Okay.
everyone shit-faced. We won't have to worry about reinforcements coming up.
I like it. Don't use ale, because they don't like ale. Either grog, not so much grog, but grog or rum.
what is grog?
It's rum mixed with water, I believe.
Wherefore wouldst you put water in rum?
Because it's
Dilutes it.
bacteria in water, and there's purity in alcohol.
That
And
is
you need
that is
water
alcohol
to
abuse, I
survive.
believe, is the term.
I agree with you a whole.
Damn straight.
I mean, you're getting best of the world. When you're out on sea and there's no fresh water, you just do with what you got.
Wherefore didst you become a pirate? It seemed like a terrible profession, Noxus.
I didn't really think I was gonna be one. I thought I was gonna be a sailor.
I mean,
Is the
I spent a
sailing
lot-
much different when it comes to watered down rum?
Yes. It's more
mean,
professional being
the
a sailor.
the guys at the port used to just talk of being free and tending to nothing but the waves and a certain amount of risk to it. There's a certain amount of before they would find me that I've snuck into the bar and then kick me the fuck out, but a certain amount of envy. But
Well, the only ones that we're gonna have problems with are the hobgoblins. They got sticks so far up their ass, we're not even gonna be able to do anything.
I must agree with that. They seem like quite the soldiers.
The other pirate, what?
You understand if we go in that cave, if Gator is there, what's gonna have to happen, right?
I'm fully prepared. Do what I have to do. I
Can
like it.
Can I insight check Knox?
Yeah.
I don't believe him at all.
Noxus?
You can make a deception check
I'm gonna
If
do
you're
that.
lying.
if you're lying to me.
No, yeah. Give me a second. You could tell he's having
He's
He's having
conflicted.
issues. Yeah, he's having issues.
It's less that he's lying to you, and it's more that he's conflicted about what he may have to do.
I keep that to myself.
Well, he wasn't there when I saw, so I doubt he's going back. So that's good news. But if we go and do this, and I disappear, he's gonna know it was me, so I might as well just be dead to him anyways.
At this point, you guys would have noticed that the second trip of loot from the ship is making its way across the bridge and further into the ruins. And with that, you can see Gator with his two lieutenants making their way up through and coming out the opening of the forest, the rainforest.
Well,
let's go get our let's get paid. I put on my southern accent and I go out and I go get paid.
And I follow.
Once more into the breach. Pulls up cloak.
You're
Out of the frying pan and into the fire with you.
Well, all right, before you guys come running across the bridge over there, you, go back to your bubble.
Bubble.
Go in your bubble.
They make their way across, and you can see Gator, as you guys come up out of your bubble, seems to be in conversation with these hobgoblins over here.
Mm-hmm.
This hobgoblin is different from the one who was on the ship. He's not the same. He also looks like some sort of magic user, but is not that individual, and appears to be flanked by a hobgoblin that's much larger and more well armored than the other hobgoblins here, and as opposed to holding a like a long sword and shield, has a great sword strapped to his back. Is kind of standing there with his arms crossed next to him as you approach Gator as he's coming out. The lieutenants kind of have been handing out sacks of coin to all the crew as they're making their way across the bridge. And as you come up, he says, "Ah, Noxus, my boy, you were never late for payment when it came time, if I recall. Always right in front of the line." And he nods to Kane, who tosses each of you a sack of coin.
Could reach, catch it out of the air with one hand.
Pretty hefty sack of coin, but it doesn't appear to be coins.
Mm-hmm. Peek at
You
that.
open it and look in. It appears to be a coin of mixed precious stones. None of them sapphires.
Mm-hmm.
But there are a mix of diamonds, emeralds, rubies, and diamonds, emeralds, in there.
So
Probably
6 bags.
Yeah, each of you get a bag. If you had to guess, kind of just like tossing it up and down in your hand, looking at the cut of the stones and everything, probably a total value between all of it of 1,200 gold pieces.
Altogether?
Altogether, yeah.
a mighty haul, Captain.
Aye, you did well. There's a little extra in there for pulling all of that loot without us having to work too hard to get it.
You're a good man, sir.
Let it never be said that Captain Gator doesn't take care of his crew.
Of course not.
You said diamonds, rubies, emerald,
Yes.
no sapphires.
No sapphires in there.
Okay. Well, thank you, Captain. And how about that drinking story I owe you?
That sounds like something I might enjoy.
Why don't I have my
At this
my
point-
compatriots join us as well?
Very well. At this point, he turns and looks at the hobgoblin here with his lieutenant and says, "I'll leave you to your cavorting," as they make their way off the map and deeper into the ruins. As Gator says, "Good haul, lads! Time for celebration!" And there's a cheer that goes up, and that case of rum that you purchased, Fike, starts to get passed around.
Fuck off!
As everybody starts getting rums. Gator takes like a barrel with like a piece of plywood attached to that looks like it's is shoddily nailed to the top of it. Pulls it out as like almost like as a bit of a table for everyone. Sets it down, and you start getting into your stories with him, Noxus, as everyone starts to drink.
It becomes grog as it's raining.
Yeah. And that is where we will leave things off.
Hey!
For the evening.
Thank you.
Oh God.
Oh.
Fuck, Bill, come on!
Holy shit.
You said you like these characters.
What's that?
You said you like these characters.
I do.
I'm surprised that rum lasted as long as it did.
It was a big case of rum.
I bought a case of rum. I spent money on it, and I've enjoyed next to zero.
Well,
you better drink a lot of it now.
You're part of the people that are getting it right now.
No, I need sobriety.
What? Ronka, thank you so much for the $25 tip. Thank you. You're amazing. I love you.
Yeah, thank you.
Hope that you enjoyed the story.
Yeah, this is
or
great.
are enjoying the story.
Yay.
Tune in next Wednesday.
Thank you, friend.
Yeah.
Same time, same place.
Yeah. So oh wait, I'm gonna keep it up for EXP and stuff like that. Then I'll turn off the stream so I
Yes.
remember.
Tell your friends.
Yeah, tell your friends, tell everybody.
Thank you, Ronka.
Yeah, tell your friends.
Yeah.
So hope my players enjoyed the little.
Hey.
Yeah.
I want to fuck up a dragon.
Wait. So it is a dragon.
We're
As far
pretty
as-
sure it's a
I
dragon,
mean-
but I want to fuck up a dragon.
It's
I
a
mean, I'm not
dragon.
gonna
This is
say
Flint
yes or
saying I wanna
no,
fuck up a
but
dragon.
I'm laying it on pretty thick.
Renata is like, I want to fuck up a dragon. Flint is like, I want to fuck up a dragon.
Bill knows how bad I've wanted to fuck up a dragon for so long, and the
Can you
one
quit
day
saying
that they
fuck up a
fought a
dragon?
dragon, I missed
You're gonna
it.
give it more hit points. Stop.
I
We
was-
all know
'cause I
Spike
was-
also wants to fuck a dragon, but it's different.
I
Yeah,
was
Spike
wondering if
wants
you guys. I loved looking at faces at the Etzel deal.
Yeah.
I kind
It
of
took me a second. I thought that was like Gators.
Yeah.
For a second, I thought it was like one of Gators people, and like, oh, that
Yeah.
person.
Yeah, I thought it was like I thought when you said I recognized her, and I'm sitting there like, this person, it must have been somebody I was on the crew with, and then you're like the person who was in line for the council. I was like,
oh.
I don't know how you resisted giving someone a capuchin monkey and not calling them Ventura. That's my only problem.
Well, who would like their experience?
Yes, please.
Please and thank you.
Alrighty. Ren, you got 18. Bureau and Nox each got 20. Fike got 18, and Tharn got 15. I'll have to send him a message and let him know how much XP he got for his half credit.
Cool.
I leveled
credit.
up. Not.
Ding, ding, ding.
Bureau!
Yay!
Dings!
Bureau levels up! Woo!
Perfect timing right before a dragon fight.
Yeah, right?
We go nade it. We
All
go
right, I'm going
nade
to turn
it.
off the stream. Thank you so much again, Ronco. We'll see you next week.
Thank you,
Go
Raga.
get some sleep!
I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral dice holder. I'm proud to be. I'm a flying ace and fly through outer space. Hello, sweetie. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral dice holder. I'm proud to be in whatever sitch, like singing on Twitch or playing D&D. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral dice holder. You may call me obsessive, but I just border on being a collector and being a dragon that sits atop my treasure. That's so shiny. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral dice hoarder, and my partners love me for it. I'm a natural 20 when it comes to being me. I'm a time traveler